Everybody, Chad, nobody else's auto. 7 o'clock Sunday evening, time for some Sunday night live chat. We're already rolling hard and heavy here on YouTube the way it looks. Jeff's here, Ryan and Amy, Leo. Mark's on with us, Tweedly D, Shop Cat. Holy cow, tons of you guys on here with us, ready to go. Alex is here. Glad you guys all made it. Bill Wagaman's on. Charles is with us tonight. Rusty Nails, Kevin L., Jim Petty, Lee from New York. I'm sure I've missed some of you guys. There's Frank's here. So many of them, so many of you guys are already on here ready to go. Alex on with us. And let's see, looks like we're connecting on Facebook as well. As always, we are live on two formats, both Facebook and YouTube. As you see me glancing back and forth, I'm trying to keep up with comments on both formats. A lot of us are on YouTube. We do still have some people that like to hang out with us on Facebook, like Michael's here with us on Facebook as well. Glad you made it tonight, Michael. Anyway, lots of people on already and ready to go. I'm still amazed you guys keep coming back, but you do every week. We have a great time, and we're going to have another great time tonight. We're all ready to go, so throw a share out there. Let your friends know that we're on. Have see if they want to come over and hang out with us and join us. Bill Disk is here. Dad's on with us. Let's see. As always, please check your autocorrect before you hit send on your comments. If autocorrect changes it to something wonky that I'm not sure what it is, then I don't know what to, and I can't make it out. I will skip it, go to the next comment. Randy's here. Eloy's on with us. Gray Kitty is actually sitting on top of the fridge over there. Right, dum-dum? Gray Kitty. Hey. Hey. She don't care. She ain't paying no attention. Anyway, Alan's here with us. Scott's with us. Joe. So please double check your comments before you hit send. Make sure autocorrect didn't change them. If you were on the Nobody's Show Facebook page, I cannot see those comments. This is a shared video from the Nobody Else's Auto page. You will need to be on the Nobody Else's Auto page on Facebook or the Nobody Show channel on YouTube if you want to comment, participate in the auctions, anything like that. If you just want to watch and hang out, you're perfectly fine there. Doug's on here with us. Trolls, as always, we get some trolls on here from time to time. I'm going to ignore them. They're trying to get my attention. You guys do a great job of making sure they know they are not welcome. I always appreciate that. Dennis is here. Super chats are awesome. Once in a while, you guys throw super chats out. That's super amazing. And throw that share out there. Let your friends know that we are on and ready to go. John's here with us. Shipments, I've pretty much got everything caught up. I've got one. I can't remember whose it was. I've got one in the box I didn't have an address on from a couple of weeks ago. I'm just drawing a blank on the name, and it was one of our regulars. I think it was David W. I think I'm waiting on an address on yours. I think that's who it was. As David W. I've still got a shipment for you waiting. Alan's here with us. Everything else, I think, has been shipped. The last couple prize boxes from the last raffle went out this week. I got most of that stuff caught up and on the way. So I think everything that was paid for, other than I think that one I've got for David W., is shipped. Other than a few guys just said, hold it, don't ship one thing. Let's get a couple things going on that stuff. John got all this stuff today, but didn't get a sticker. Okay. Yeah, because if you paid for a sticker and it didn't say that on there, then I wouldn't have known that. So just let me know if I owe you one, I'll get it in your next box, John. I didn't think I seen that in your notes, but I could have missed something too. So Joe's on with us on Facebook. Shopcat hit 900 subs yesterday. That's every little bit. I mean, every little thing's always a big deal. It always makes you feel good. Somebody's watching. So Pete's here. Daniel's on with us. So, but yeah, let me know what you're doing on a sticker, John. I must have missed that. But anyway, everything else should be on the way, other than I think David W. I've got one waiting on an address. So, and we got a lot more cool stuff tonight. Pretty excited about it. Especially, these last few weeks. Okay, yeah, $2 on a Post-it. Okay. Let me make a note on here. So on your next shipment, John, I get that in there. I'll write it on my auction pad, so I got it down. So Throwing Sparks is here. Mike from New Waverly, Texas is on. But anyway, the reason I was so busy this week is trying to get things out and shipped. I took a batch Monday. I think took a batch Thursday because I had to go back to one of our favorite places on earth, the Auburn Cord Duesenberg Company in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. Yep, went down to see Doug and shot, I think, 9 videos down there Friday afternoon and Saturday morning. You know, you guys know I love going down there because there is so much neat stuff that you just don't see. You know, you don't go to the local cruise in at the Sonic and see a supercharged Auburn Boattail Speedster. You know, it doesn't happen. But when you go there, we get to see it. So, big job made it tonight. No, I did not buy a Duesenberg. I pretty much know I can't afford that. I'd have to have like 10 million subscribers. Then I might be able to afford one. And I'm like a long ways away from that. But, yep, I've used a propane torch before, Tweedly D. Yep, works just fine. Haven't used one in a long time, but yep, it does work. But anyway, like I said, that's what I had to do Friday and Saturday. So what did we do while we were down at Auburn Cord Duesenberg? Well, the big news was Gary's here. Good point, Gary. We haven't gotten these up yet. We better get rolling. Brian Dispatch made it tonight. John likes the green Chevy Dash. Yep. Got that from another one of our viewers. So at the Wichita Swap Meet. But that was what's great about the swap meet and going out and meeting some of you guys. So, but it is a cool piece. It is sharp. And it's already set up, mounted, ready to hang on the wall. It's pretty cool. So, but the main reason that Doug wanted me to come down was another barn find. They've got it cleaned up. They're actually going to send the car to Barrett. We'll be getting the videos up. Kenny's here starting hopefully tomorrow night. I'm waiting on him to get me some more pictures of the car in the garage before they pulled it out. So they're checking with their guys that went to get the car because it was several months ago that in the garage, because it was in an old, dirty, dusty garage. They actually found it in Tulsa, in the old oil money area of Tulsa is where they found the car. Been sitting in this garage since 72 or 73. So that's what that's where they found it at. So once I get those pictures, I'm going to stitch those into the video and hopefully have that first video up tomorrow night. It's a super cool car. It's a little bit different though. It's a little out of their normal wheelhouse. It's a 1936 Bentley 4.25 liter drop head coupe. It's a cool car. It is completely original. They did clean it up, shine the paint up a bit. They've got it running and driving. It's pretty interesting. We got 3 videos on the car. The whole situation as far as we're going to do the video of the walk around video where we talk about the car like Doug and I always do on the cars. We actually did a video with one of their guys who got the car running. And then we've got another video on the documentation because the crazy part about this thing is Bentley still has records on this car. I mean, tons of records. They've got the dyno sheet from when the engine was tested before it was put in the car with the engine number, which matches the engine in the car. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that we've got on there. So appreciate that, guys. Appreciate the help on that. Norma's here with us. So it's a neat car. It's definitely something a little bit different. But this car still has not only all original drivetrain, everything matches it's got the car number, the engine number. Scott's with us on Facebook. All that stuff still matches the documentation that they got from Bentley on this car from 1936. The receipt from when the car went to the coach builder. The coach builder that built the body, which still matches the tag on the body from the coach builder that built the car. So it's pretty cool, a pretty neat car. Throwing Sparks in game of the barn find to keep it in barn find condition. That is something that is completely up to whoever ends up with the car. Now, typically, like a car like this Bentley, it is so correct and so original that if you wanted to do a restoration on this car, it's a phenomenal candidate because it is in such great condition. They think it has about 15,000 miles on it. It's in kilometers, but they think it is around, it's like 22,000 kilometers. They think that's 16,000 miles. I'm not sure. But what it does is it is, so, if you were going to restore a car like this that is a barn find that's been untouched, is definitely a candidate for an excellent restoration. However, there's also the case that you lose the originality. Once that car comes apart and every single nut and bolt is refurbished, it is not the way the car left the factory, whether it's a Bentley, a Duesenberg, or a Chevy or a Ford. You know, that argument can always be made on both sides of that coin. So, and like Randy says, it's only original once, and that's true. So, you know, and this car is going to Barrett Jackson. So somebody else is going to be able to make that decision here in a few weeks. 13,750 miles is about 20,000 kilometers. So thanks, Alex, for doing the math on that one. So that is a super cool car. We're going to have 3 videos coming up on that, getting it ready to go to before it goes to Barrett. There was a question about where was it found. It was actually found in Tulsa, in the older part of town, in the old big oil money area of town, tucked in a garage where it had been since where they parked it in 72 or 73. So pretty neat. John's here with us. We were just talking about you, John. People that are fans of your old Chevy Dash that I bought from you. So we've got some awesome, yeah, that's right, Pete, sitting right under their noses. So we've got some awesome stuff coming on the Bentley. Now, they're sending 2 cars to Barrett. So we did a video on the other car. The other car is a 1937 Cord 812 Westchester, which is a neat car. Now, and something that I mean, there's a couple of different bodies in those Cords, in 37 Cords. Eric's here with us. Anthony from Canada's on. So what they've done we did a video on the 812 Westchester that is going to Barrett. We also did a video on a 37 812 Beverly. And Doug's going to point out some of the differences in those. So both of those videos are going to be coming up. We got just one video on the Cord, 3 on the Bentley. Now, of course, whenever we're at Doug's place, we've got to do a shop tour, right? I mean, you guys want to see what they're working on in the shop. We always do, because it is always such cool stuff. So that we've got a shop tour coming up of what they're working on right now, which is different stuff than last time and awesome stuff. So Jennifer's here with us. Glad you are. Glad you made it. Going to be able to hang out for a while tonight. Glad you made it, Jennifer. Glad you're here with us. Hope everything is going well for you. So we're going to do we got the shop tour video coming up. The another car that sorry, Alec, my bad. I'm slipping on you guys. Another car that you guys had asked about that we did a video on. John's having second thoughts about the Dash vacancy in his garage. I bet you probably are. We did a video on a car that Doug had found last year that there have actually been a few comments about what happened to it. Well, we know now. If you guys remember, I think it was when we were down there for Meekum in June, Doug had come across a car that a guy had started to build. It was based on the Wyandotte toy car of the Cord that Wyandotte had done back in years and years ago. By the way, if anybody's got a Wyandotte Cord, I need one. I don't have a Wyandotte Cord in my toy collection. But it was kind of a boat tail design with a Cord front end. Well, a guy that Doug knew, that was kind of his dream, so he had started to build one. He had I don't remember if it was a prey body that he used for the boat tail or not, but it was a fiberglass body with a boat tail, and they put a Cord front end on it, and it is Ford powered. It's on a Ford running gear. So we saw that car. It's burgundy and gray. We saw that car at Doug's shop in an uncompleted condition 6-8 months ago. It was a super cool car. A lot of you guys had asked about it. Well, the car's done. He sold it to a local guy, and the car is done, running, driving, did a phenomenal job on it. Not only did they finish the car, they put vintage air in it. They put a Bluetooth stereo in it. I mean, really took it to the next level. And so he brought the car by, and we checked it out, and we did another video on it, and he's going to sell it. So we're going to be getting that one up too, because there again, a lot of you guys asked about that car. What happened to it? It's done, and we're going to show it to you, and you're going to be able to check it out, and it's going to be cool. And hey, if somebody's interested in it, it's available. He said they've still got 4 kids at home. His wife wants something that is bigger to take some of the kids with him versus the 2-seat Speedster. So it's going to be for sale. So anyway, that's exciting. Travis is here with us. Hoods and badge. I guess we better throw an Auburn badge up there too. So that's coming. The shop tour, the Cord Speedster. We did an amazing video on a 1929 Auburn Boattail Speedster that Doug just got back from the Boca Raton Concours with. Phenomenal car. We did a nice walk around on that car. We're going to share that with you. Plus, now, if you remember, I do it, Pete. I've got almost 20 videos in the can right now. I've got some stuff from another salvage yard. I've got new inventory, and I've got all this stuff from ACD, and I've got a ton of stuff that I haven't even shot yet that's been coming to the yard that we're going to talk about in just a second, because I had some super, super cool stuff come in this week as well. So anyway, the 29 Speedster, the Cord Beverly, but if you remember, Adam Prey, Doug's son, has taken over the actual operation day-to-day of the factory. Nope, I'm not anywhere close to getting anything picked up. However, the 2 cars I bought last week were delivered, so that did help. I didn't have to go get them. I didn't gain anything. I got more cars, but I didn't get anything off my other list, but they were delivered. So, but what Doug has started doing, since Doug's got a little more time on his hands, as far as not having to worry about day-to-day, talking to the customers, where's the project at, things like that, Doug has actually started working on some of the archives of Auburn Cord Duesenberg. You know, they had books, literature, manuals everywhere, all over the factory. Well, they got a big metal case, 3 or 4 foot wide and 6 or 8 feet tall. And Doug has started gathering all that stuff up. He's still got a ways to go. He's still got some pretty good piles in there, but he has started gathering up all this documentation, and he's getting it in order. So he's going to share some of that with us. You ought to see just the covers of some of these Auburn manuals. The covers were just amazing. So we're going to share some of that with you about how they're organizing their archives, because you know how to set a carburetor on a 29 Auburn. They've got the paperwork to know how to do it. How does the clutch linkage work set up? They've got the documentation to find out. They've got it all there. So they're getting it all organized, all put in one place. So they've got it all. So we're going to show you that video as well. Plus, there's also a story behind this. Did you know Auburn started building cars in 1900. However, when Doug's dad, Glenn, bought the factory in 1960, they realized there were no parts for any Auburns prior to 1928 left in inventory. So there's an interesting story behind that Doug's going to share with us as well. So Bill remembers the Cord Speedster. Yep, we're going to be bringing you some more information on it. So all that stuff coming up. Plus, I picked up some stuff down there that we're going to share with you guys too to add to your collections. It's going to be pretty cool. But made for a fun weekend, as always. I love going down there. Doug's such a great guy. Adam's taking over, going to start running the factory, 3rd generation. And hopefully, the way it's looking, probably one of Adam's kids is going to be the 4th generation of Prey. So a long, bright future for the Auburn Cord Duesenberg company and some of the amazing restorations that they crank out and the service work they do. I mean, there's nobody that knows these cars better than those guys. Front-wheel drive cord transmissions, things like that, supercharged Auburn engines. These guys know how to do it, and it's awesome. And the fact that, Doug shares that with us, it's so great. So but stay tuned. We got the Bentley videos coming up and the 37 Cord video coming up first, because those cars are going to Barrett-Jackson here in about a month, I think. I think it's middle of April is when those cars are going to Barrett-Jackson. So Pete, is that going to be 3rd generation? Going to be you? And that's right, Throwing Sparks. The ACD legacy is going to continue. It's got a bright future, and they are absolutely beautiful, amazing cars. So we've got so much cool stuff coming that you guys are not going to want to miss it. We've got some great content coming on that. I had a lot of fun doing it. You guys know I love to go down there it's not stuff that we typically have access to. You don't go to a cruise night or a Cars and Coffee and see these cars. They're just so rare. And 36, 37 coffin nose Cords, they made about 3,000 cars total of all of them. The Westchesters, the Beverleys, the convertibles, all of them. They made about 3,000 cars. So just not much out there. And not only do we get to see them, we get to learn about them. We get to learn the details about them, how they shift, things like that. We got so much information there. It is so cool that you don't get that opportunity. And the fact that Doug's sharing that with me to share with you, it's cool. And I'm glad you guys enjoy it. And I'm glad you guys appreciate it. So we got a lot more cool stuff coming. Now, one other thing I want to get mentioned before we get into into the promo model, a couple things I want to mention. We usually talk about new inventory towards the end, but I had a couple cars coming this week that I just got to tell you about. I can't wait any longer. I got to tell you about these. It's been a convertible kind of week, actually. Here at Nobody's, had 2 convertibles come in this week. Actually, one of them came in last Sunday afternoon, literally right before I jumped on. But we didn't talk about it because I already had my notes made and hadn't even hardly looked at the car yet. But first off, I had and this was a viewer brought it up to me. He delivered it. It was a car that his dad had for years, had it saved had it stored in a building, always wanted to do something with it. Never did. He ended up with a car and always was going to do something with it, and finally realized he just doesn't have time. He doesn't have anywhere to store it. So he didn't have anywhere to go with it. So he called me and said, "Are you interested in buying it?" And I said, "Sure." We worked out a deal. And he brought it up to me, and the car is really solid. I think it's totally complete. I haven't really found anything I think it's got the wrong air cleaner on it. But for the most part, it's totally complete. 1970 Oldsmobile 98 convertible. It's a whole lot of convertible. Auburn badge. But the car looks extremely solid. Like I said, it's been inside for decades. Little tiny bit of rust in the right rear quarter, but I mean, the car looks solid. I think all 4 hubcaps are still laying inside the car. So that's a pretty cool car. Can't wait to get you some content on that soon. That's right, Pete. It is a lot of convertible. But there again, when's the last time you've seen a 7098 period, much less a 7098 convertible? Yeah, about 3 tons. Yeah. I don't know if it's 3 tons, but it's a lot of car. But they're neat. I mean, some of those big cars have never been appreciated, and they're starting to be appreciated. So I was definitely glad to get it. It's a neat car. Leo likes them. Yeah, they're cool. Now the next car I had come in, actually went Wednesday or Thursday, I think, right before I left. Steel Ponies, Jeff Taylor's here. Steel Ponies Jeff is on with us. But I had another convertible show up. Another guy brought to me, and this I don't even know that I've ever even seen one of these. I think I've seen a 51. I think Dad found a 51 one time, but I don't think I've ever seen one of these. And it is super unique, and it is a really popular car and a very unique car. We all like bullet noses. We gave away a bullet nose. A lot of you guys like the bullet nose. I had a 1950 bullet nose Studebaker Champion convertible come in this week. When's the last time you've seen a bullet nose convertible? I don't know. I think I've seen a 51. I think Dad found a 51 one time, but I don't think I've ever seen a 50 Studebaker Champion bullet nose convertible. So that was kind of exciting as well. So, and it's a complete car. It's still got all the hubcaps on it, literally. So need to get some tires on that one. Tires are all shredded on both of them. But it's a neat car. So yeah, exactly, Pete. I don't know that I've ever seen one. So no problem, Dean. Just give me a shout, X-Ray. We'll get her sorted out. I was going through some of the auction stuff. So yeah, we'll get it sorted out, X-Ray. I know you're still here with us, and we'll get it sorted out. I am starting to go back through January and December, and there's not a lot, but there are a few things from January and December that have not been paid for that are going to start getting circulated back into the boxes. There's only 3 or 4 things, but after about 6 weeks, I am going to start circulating that stuff back in if they don't get paid for. So numero uno, number 1 is here. Yeah, Kenny said he's never seen one. Yeah, Bill just can't wait to see it. It is a 1950, Alex. The 1950 bullet nose. Ryan and Amy can't wait to see it. They like Studebagers. Leo did on a 69 Cadillac. That's about the same size as that 7098. So, all right. So excited about that. I know you guys are going to dig those. So we'll be getting that content up soon. I'll get some tires on them, get them rollable. Like I said, still got several videos that new inventory you guys haven't seen yet. Grant's here, straight 6 fan, working on the rear bumper in a 79 Grand Prix. He came out and got some Grand Prix parts from me a while back. Thank God Grant stopped by tonight for a while. Yeah, Studebaker is absolutely fixable. Actually, both those cars are extremely fixable. Studebaker has some rust in the rockers, but the rest of the car looks pretty good. Like I said, the Oldsmobile had a little bit of rust in the right rear quarter, but bottom of the Oldsmobile looks great. I think the Studebaker, it's got to have a little more rust in the Oldsmobile, but not bad. I mean, I think it's absolutely a fixable car. Yeah, I think the Olds is a 455. So anyway, been an exciting week. Got an Olds convertible, got a Studebaker convertible, went to Auburn Cord Duesenberg. I've been busy. But hey, that's what makes it fun. That's why we do this. Anyway, let's catch the promo model. Let's catch a badge and some badges and emblems. Then we're going to dive into the auction boxes. Now, I don't know if you guys saw the post or not, but there's 2 badges in here tonight that I've showed you before. And I told you guys I will not absolutely positively under any condition sell these badges because they're too cool. I've said that about a lot of badges, but these 2 definitely stood out. And these 2, you guys loved them when I showed them to you. Well, I found duplicates on these 2 pieces. So we got 2 badges coming tonight that you guys are not going to want to miss. So, plus a whole slug of other cool stuff. Obviously, the Missouri Run, the swap meet, the antique malls, the other salvage yards I've been hitting. I've got a ton of stuff, a ton of new stuff, and a ton of super cool stuff. But we've got everything tonight. We've got a few toys. We've got cans. We've got license plates. We've got caps, hood ornaments. Oh, next week, we will probably heavyweight boxing tonight. That's right, Alex. Next week, we will probably sell the rarest license plate we've ever had on here. I say sell it. We're going to run it through the auction. I got quite a bit of money in it, so it's got to bring something. Rico's here with us. And I know I don't need an orange kitty. I got too many cats the way it is, so. But maybe the snipers are already ready. So we've got some awesome stuff tonight. Next week, like I said, be prepared for. And we've got some great plates tonight too. Don't get me wrong. In fact, we've got one real early plate. I just got some really good plates tonight. But next week, we're going to have probably the rarest license plate that we've ever had on here. I had to tie my shoe. My shoe came untied and kept getting watered up in my chair, so I had to stop and tie my shoe. Anyway, let's get to the promo model. Let's check out a couple of badges and emblems out of my collection. Then we're going to dive into these boxes. We're going to give you an Auburn badge since we're talking about Doug anyway. And get into tonight's promo model. Crazy to think about these cars are this old at this point. Are you trying to tell me to save my money till next week? I don't know, Tweedledee, because there's some pretty cool stuff tonight. But anyway, tonight's promo is a 1990, as crazy as it sounds. The 1990 Chevrolet Camaro IROC in red on red. Now, obviously, I'm a fan of these. I know a lot of people say this is not an old car. The car's 33 years old now. Almost an antique. Pete's digging it. Now, what's unique about this is 1990 was the last year for the IROC Camaro before Dodge got the contract and they became Daytonas. So the 1990 IROC was not a real common car. There were not a ton of them made. From 85 to 89, they made a lot of IROCs. They were pretty common. A lot of Z28s were IROCs. 1990, not very many of them. Now, this one does not say IROC here, but it does have the IROC badge cast in it down here where they would say Z28 or IROC. This one, I think, says IROC from what my eyes can tell me. That's right, Pete. This body style is starting to blow up. So a lot of you guys do like this. I'm seeing some pretty positive comments about it. This one's in great condition. I'm sure I've had this probably since new. Yeah, I know. I feel like I'm getting old, though. Red interior, red carb. By then they were pretty much all the same color. It was a naming license for the International Race of Champions. So when Chevy lost, Dodge picked up the contract in 91 and they were using Daytonas in the IROC series in 91. So it was the last of the breed for the IROC Camaro. The 91, 92 obviously did not have it. And obviously they made some changes from 91 and 92. Now, this louvered hood, which was pretty common from the mid 80s up into 90. This was the last year for this. 91, 92 got different style hood scoops. Front wheel drive IROCs. Yep, that's what they were. 91, 92 Z28 had a different rear spoiler. So there were some design traits that ended with this car for the last 2 years of the third generation production, namely the wheels and the rear spoiler on the coupes. Now, the convertible retained this rear spoiler. However, the hoods were different and some other minor differences. The bottom of this, just a basic stamped piece or cast piece, not a ton of detail, no separate moving pieces or no separate pieces really at all on the bottom of this. Original tires and wheels, but like I said, this one, I probably had it since it was new. So it's never really been exposed to the elements. It's never really had any hard play, just been in my case. So it's been in great condition. And that's another good one, Grant, the turbo Trans-Ams with the Grand National V6s in them. So these cars are obviously getting more and more popular by the day. I've got a few of them in my collection. I've got the 82 pace car. I've got the 92 convertible. I've got an 84 Trans Am that's painted that needs put back together. So I've got a few third gens in my collection as well. So I've obviously been a fan of them. I grew up on them. I'm familiar with them, and that's what I like. So I've always liked these cars. I'm glad you guys can appreciate them as well, and glad you guys like them. So there it is for tonight's promo. The 1990, the last of the breed, IROC Z28 Camaro. See the 90 on the tag on this one. Auburn badge. All right, let's get on to some of my badges and emblems. We'll start off with an early one like we typically do. This is a smaller badge, very ornate and very detailed, though. For the introduced in mid-1928 when the cars were introduced, this was the first one, they used this badge up to 1930 on the DeSoto. Now, this badge is fairly small. Inch and a half by just over an inch. Obviously very ornate. The DeSoto is almost a scroll type work. We see the blue blocks in here in this shield and the gold over here. I haven't cleaned this up yet. These were a gold or brass colored. The blue in here. Fairly flat mount, a slight curvature to it. It has a little screw on the back. It was actually a bolt-on piece to help mount this one. Used when the DeSoto was introduced in mid-28 up until 1930 when they went to a different badge. So it's a pretty cool looking piece. Obviously, we know we all love these badges, and I've got a ton of them. And it's always fun to share them with you and talk about the history because that's when, in 28, that's when things started for the DeSoto up into 1961. Hat pin would be cool. Yep, it's almost too big for a hat pin, but a little smaller than some of these badges. X-Ray's a fan of DeSotos. DeSotos were neat cars. They had a lot of cool things about DeSotos. So there's the first badge tonight. Norman says hit the like button. Appreciate that. A lot of you guys are digging this one. It is cool. DeSoto, something a little bit different. The first DeSoto badge that they used obviously makes it a little bit different. It was introduced in 28 to 1930, the DeSoto enamel badge. So there again, 95-year-old piece, still looks pretty good for its age. Yeah, I guess you got a 10-gallon hat. It wouldn't be small at all. That's true. It would need to be an inch and a half tall and a 10-gallon hat. Kevin loves them all. Never seen a lot of them. This next badge, we're definitely going to move forward a lot now. Up into the 80s once again to a car that I don't know if some of you guys have heard of them or not. I've known about them forever. I remember when they came out because Dad worked at the Buick dealership, so I remember the cars from when they were new. I bought mine right before I went to college, right before I went to Pittsburgh, so probably in 94 or 95 was when I bought mine. These are a pretty unique car. A lot of people don't know what they are. They only made them for 3 years, so they're a little bit different. And if you don't know them, probably somewhat unfamiliar with this car. Steel Ponies just loves all the badges. They're all better than today's badges. Randy's here with us. Anybody remember these? The T-Type Buick LeSabre. This badge is about 6 1/8 by about an inch. Some of you guys remember them. So a little over 6 inches by about an inch. Grant was hoping it was going to be an Eagle Talon. I had a Talon for a company car for a while when I was working in Minneapolis. They made these cars from 1987 to 1989. Eloy remembers them. My car's an 88. Now, they were a basic front-wheel drive 3800. They were still the LeSabre platform. They were not turbocharged. They were more of an appearance package. The T-Type LeSabres were a coupe. They had buckets, console, floor shift, tack, full instrumentation, ground effects, special wheels. So they were a sharp car. That's why I always liked them. That's why I bought the one that I had that I used to drive to college, and I've still got it today. It was a one-owner car when I bought it. I bought it from the lady that bought the car new, and so it. I've always been a fan of these cars. I always thought they were great looking. Let's see. Michael remembers on Facebook. Eloy remembers them. He's a Buick guy. So Alex's parents bought us LeSabre in '63. Brian, the collector's edition. Yeah, I remember the collector's edition. These were not turbo, so they did not have the Turbo 6 badge on them. But I was always a fan of them, so I've always kept this one that I had. Now, one LeSabre that I would love to have that I don't have. Anybody know they made a LeSabre Grand National? Anybody ever heard of the LeSabre Grand National? Because they made one of those as well in '86. But this car was the 87 to 89. They made about 10,000 of them, so they weren't real common in all 3 years. The entire production run of T-Type LeSabres was about 10,000 cars, and added 87, 88, and 89 all together. So not extremely common. But I've always been a fan of them, so I thought we would share this one with you with the T-Type on it right here. They did make some electric T-Types in 4-doors as well. Some of you guys have heard of the LeSabre Grand National, so there's a few of you guys out there familiar with what I'm talking about. This was a basic tape badge just stuck on with double-sided tape, but it is a metal badge. So the 1987 to 1989 Buick LeSabre T-Type Coupe. But there again, that's the entire purpose of doing some of this stuff. Mix some different stuff in that is different, that some of us may not be familiar with, because then we're all learning. You guys have feedback and input, and we all learn even more. So let's see. Leo's looking for a trike kit for 98 Harley. Can't help you there. Colorado Memorial's on with us again tonight. Mark, even the bigger dealers only had a couple of them. Yeah, they weren't real common. Grant, straight six fan, his neighbor had a 72 LeSabre that they carpooled in. So there again, even just bringing up the LeSabre has brought back a lot of memories for a lot of you guys. That's the whole purpose of this. That's the entire reason we're on here. That's why we like cars. And that's why doing even something this simple brings back those memories. So glad you guys enjoyed that as well. Sometimes you get into some of the stuff that's a little different. I don't know if you guys are going to enjoy it, but obviously it brought back a lot of memories even for some of you guys. So Even if it wasn't a T-type LeSabre, just the LeSabre part brought a lot of it back. So that's what we have for tonight, the 1928 through 1930 DeSoto. And then we jump up 60 years to the T-type Buick LeSabre for the badges for tonight. Let's see. Bill Wagman worked at a Buick dealership from 84 to 96. He does remember the LeSabre Grand National. I never saw one with T-tops in a LeSabre Grand National. I had a parts car T-type. I think this came off of it. There was very little left of it, but I got it, and it was, in fact, I bought it out of their salvage yard. They'd actually cut part of the structure out of it to fix another car, but it had wheels and stuff on it, so I think this came off that parts car I bought years and years ago. So anyway, I think that's where this one came from. So that's what we got for badges and emblems tonight. We still got some of these laying around, though. Better have some of these. Hey, what the heck? Let's give you a Hudson while we're at it. Tony missed his Tuesday, had to plow snow. Well, I'm glad you're doing it, not me, that's for sure. I don't want to plow any more snow. But you know what that means. If we're through Open Chat, we're through the promo, and we're through badges and emblems, it's auction time, guys. That's right. We're going to bust into some super cool stuff. As always, Mark says drum roll. Real quick, we'll run through the basics. I will hold up an emblem. I will hold up an item. We will look at it. We will talk about it. We will look at condition. We will look at flaws. We will look at dimensions. We will talk about that particular vehicle. Between the D, we do have cans tonight. Old school steel painted oil cans. So we do have oil cans. What we will do, after I get done with the description and we get done talking about it, go ahead and start throwing a bid in. If you're interested, go ahead, throw a bid in there so I know that we've got interest in the piece, and that will get us rolling. After we get done with the description, I will hit the timer on my phone. We will go 2 minutes. I will tell you when 1 minute has passed. I will tell you when 1 minute, 30 seconds has passed. When we hit the 1 minute and 30 second mark, and when I tell you that we have hit that, please be thinking about your maximum bid. Everybody on here has a delay. I don't know how long your delay is. It varies with device. Phone, PC, tablet, laptop, TV, and your provider. So all those things factor in. Some people have a 5-second delay. Some people have a 30-second delay. So that's why I'll give you the minute. I'll give you the minute and 30. And be thinking about your maximum bid when that hits. So that, so that you don't want to miss out on something. Because some of the stuff is pretty cool. And all the comments about snipers, I got a feeling there's going to be some snipers out tonight because I know what's in the boxes right down here. So I think the snipers are going to be out. So as we're going through here, I will tell you just like right now that we're coming up on 1 minute on that particular piece. So be thinking about your max bid. When I tell you minute 30, be ready to hit it. As always, most items shipping is included. I do have a 5-gallon can tonight. If you guys want to do the 5-gallon can, there will be $20 shipping on the 5-gallon can. It is empty, so it's not that heavy, but obviously it is big, compared to some of the smaller stuff. So we do have the 5-gallon can. That would have separate shipping. The rest of the stuff shipping will be included in the 48 states. If you're not in the 48 states and you want to play, that's fine. I have no problem with that. However, you will be responsible for getting me paid, which typically is a wire, which is like $35 for an international wire. And you will be responsible for shipping out of the country. Since this thing kind of funds itself, I take the money from it, try to find more cool stuff. If we spend a small fortune shipping 2 packages overseas and blow out the whole budget, that's not fair to everybody else. So anyway, that's kind of what we've got going for tonight. Bill, this dealership had 2 6 Grand Nationals, 2 GNXs, and they never prepped them for sale. They still have them. That stuff's off the rails now when you find those cars. So anyway, that being said, check, money order, cash, Western Union, PayPal, friends and family, any of that works for payment. Just make sure your shipping information is on there when you do send it. As always, if there are any questions, or if you're new to us and you're not familiar with what to do and you want to play and you want to bid on something, go ahead, throw a bid out there, full dollar amounts only. And if you buy something, you're still not sure what to do, my phone number is in the description part of this video. Just give me a call tomorrow. Real simple. We'll get it figured out. I'll walk you through it however we need to do it. Don't worry about it. Don't stress about it. Real simple. No big deal. So anyway, and like I said, there's a few things tonight that you may recognize from a few months ago. And like I said, I am going to start after. I mean, I know a lot of you guys do like to buy for a couple weeks before you pay me, and that's no problem. When we start getting to the 6 or 8 week point, I'll start shuffling it back in. And the stuff that I've already pulled is stuff that we've never heard back from. You know, X-ray, I know your stuff's good, so I didn't mess with any of yours. But you know, I know you've been building up on it, and there's a few other guys that have as well. So, but yeah, there's a few things that were from January that we never saw and never heard another word from. So I will start mixing stuff back in after 6 or 8 weeks. As always, the first couple of items that we do, I will announce all bids when I see them, even if it is not the high bid, to help give you guys an idea of where you're at on delays. And with that, everybody hit refresh to make sure you are current. Yep, Tweedledee, and that's not a problem. No big deal whatsoever. I know it's a lot easier. That way I'm not shipping one little thing, and you don't have to send payment for one little thing. So that's why I always tell you guys it's not a problem whatsoever if you want to wait a few weeks and build up a few things. So that being said, hopefully everybody had a second to hit refresh, and let's get rolling. We'll start off with some 1 or 2 cheaper items and get things boogieing, and then we'll go from there. All right, starting off with an Auburn badge. Everybody got to get ready for the auction somehow. This is a rerun on this can, but I'm going to throw something in with it as well. So we'll have 2 pieces on this first auction, kind of get things rolling. This is a metal Sinclair can. A little bit rough around the edges, got a little bit of service rust on it. The important part, you can still see the dyno. You can still see the dyno on this one. That's always important. Sinclair, Pennsylvania motor oil was punched on the top. This is a steel can with a steel seam on it in red and white. Now, the other, Steel Ponies Jeff at 10. The other piece we're going to throw in this, not a big deal, but I thought it was kind of funky. I found it in an old truck one time. Co-op tires. Check this thing out. The Co-op tires ice scraper. 6 3/4 inches long with the Co-op tire embossed in it. Nothing too exotic, but kind of a neat piece. Going right in there with the Sinclair can. Both pieces, one-shot deal. Like I said, some cheaper stuff here to get things rolling. I've got Steel Ponies Jeff at 10. Let's get this thing on the timer. We are live. And like I said, I will read all bids as they come in on these first few items to get people a feel for where their delay is at based on what they are seeing. So all right. I do keep notes on all this stuff, so I keep a log of this stuff as we're doing it so I can match it all up when I get things shipped out. Dennis at 12. Steel Ponies Jeff at 14. As we come up on the 1 minute mark. And there's 1 minute. Steel Ponies Jeff at 14. Just found 3 of these ice scrapers in the Nash that she got at the yard. That's funny. I found this in an old International. Dennis at 16. Minute 20 has passed. Steel Ponies Jeff at 18. There's the minute 30 mark. 1 minute, 30 seconds has passed. We're on the downhill slide on this one. Steel Ponies Jeff at 18. Brian at 19. 20 seconds left. $10. Steel Ponies Jeff at 22. And that does it. Brian came back at 23, just a little bit too late. Steel Ponies Jeff at 22. Auburn badge. How about we do a couple of little toys? Yep, that's right, Jeff. It was close. You about got sniped. He was a few seconds too late, but they were shooting for you. How about we do a couple little toys? First off, this is kind of a basic one. I think it's a Tootsie tanker truck. Little dinky tanker truck. Two-and-a-half-inch tanker truck. Along with this kind of rubber, I don't know if it's a Cadillac or an Imperial or what it is. Looks like a Cadillac nose. Looks like an Imperial rear. It's got yellow wheels. I don't know what it is. It's got a little bit of warpage to it. It's probably 50s. It is almost 6 inches. If you go from the Dagmars all the way out to the back, it's almost 6 inches. Got the people sitting in it, driving it. Kind of a neat little toy. Tony's got to jump off. Glad you made it for a while, Tony. So we're going to sell both of these together. The little Chrysler or the Imperial / Cadillac convertible and the little tanker truck. So anyway, like I said, I can't really... It does say made in the USA, but I don't see a name on it. It may be in there somewhere, but it does say made in the USA. That's right. If it's Frankenstein, they can't get sued for copying something. So anyway, both of them, one money. Here we go on the pair, the little Cadillac Chrysler thing and the little tanker truck. And let's get this one going. What's anybody think on these? I don't know if nobody likes the little Cadillac or we're hung up. Nope, Tweedledee's in there at 5. So sometimes when nothing happens, everything gets hung up and then a bunch of stuff hits. So Tweedledee at 5 is getting us rolling on this one. Alec at 15. I've got Alec at 15 on both of them. Shipped to you as we come up on the 1 minute mark. And there's the 1 minute mark. I've got Alec at 15. And that could be, Brian, you could be seeing the bids before me. That's why I'm reading them as I see them. Because depending on how things are feeding, that is possible. I got Alec at 15 right now. Minute 20 has passed. And there's our minute 30 mark. Alec at 15. $20 seconds left. $10 seconds to go. And that does it. Alec at 15. And there's Eloy at 17. Just a little too late. Oh, hello. Did you come to visit? You going to come say hi? Come here. You gonna say hi to everybody? Meow. Yeah, say hi. Everyone say hi. Yes, I am holding her, though. I've got a hold of her, so she doesn't go tap dancing across the keyboards. Yes, special guest appearance for you. Yes, say hi to everybody. All right, now we got a $10 bid on you. Are you worth $10? All right, time for you to go over here. Yes, and stay off the keyboards. Let's do a couple of license plates. Yeah, she hasn't missed any meals since she got back, that's for sure. These are a little bit rougher, but they've got a great look to them. So, maybe it's kind of a starter pack of plates. So I'll figure we'll throw these up together. Auburn badge. Starting off with the 1948 Kansas. Now, this plate is bent a little bit. This plate is supposed to be black and white. However, we can see most of the coloring is gone. This is down to bare aluminum. We can see the black underneath it. We can see where the letters were white. It's got kind of a cool look to it, the way the black and white have faded together, and the black is gone off the flat areas where the flat aluminum is, where the bare aluminum is. It is bent a little bit. It is an embossed original 48 plate. It is basically a standard 12 by 5.5 plate. So normal size plate. Like I said, not the best one, but maybe kind of a starter plate, good decorator plate. And to go with it, we're going to throw in a 1949 Kansas as well. Once again, an aluminum plate, which most of the paint is worn off of the flat aluminum. We've still got black on the numerals and letters. We've got the big TW and S on there on the wheat state on the 49 plate. This is also a more standard size plate. And it's bent a little bit. It is an embossed plate. So quality, not the best, but still cool look on them. Good starter type stuff. If you don't want to spend tons of money on every single plate, these still have a good look, and they're still nice pieces for display. So anyway, both standard size, basically roughly 12 by 6, what we're used to on most standard license plates today. Not really any extra holes or any extra damage to them other than they're just bent and banged up a little bit. So Steel Ponies Jeff at 10 on the pair. You're getting both one money shipped to you. Let's go ahead and get this thing rolling on the timer. I've got Jeff at Steel Ponies Jeff at 10. X-Ray Dean at 12. Steel Ponies Jeff at 14. I think the paint just flaked off, because if they'd stripped them, I would think all of it would have been gone. Alex at 16. And there's our 1 minute mark. Alex at 16 at the 1 minute mark. Minute 20 has passed. And there's the minute 30 mark. When we're past the 1 minute 30 second mark, we're coming down to the wire on this thing. Alex at 16. Ten seconds left. And Alex at 16. Eloy came back at 17, 2 seconds too late. Eloy, you need to go 2 seconds earlier next time, buddy. That's the second time already that's happened to you. Yeah, I could use some extra arms. That would come in handy, actually. Where's our Ford fans at? Let's do, well, it's kind of a Ford badge bundle. They're actually horn buttons, but they're pretty cool. So something for our Ford fans coming up next. This one, I think it was part of a horn ring because it's got some rough edges. But it says Bright Chrome, says Super Deluxe. It was marked 41, actually. So I'm guessing that this, I believe this was for a 41 Ford Super Deluxe. Now it appears as though it, the horn ring would have mounted here, here, and here, and that's broke off. So we just have the centerpiece, which is a good flat, display type piece anyway. Chrome has a nice bright shine. This was originally red. If you put some new bright red paint in there, that would really make it pop. Everybody's getting their sunglasses out. And it's about 4 inches in diameter. Yeah, Alex, we're typing this thing with an X. I bet so. So there's the first one. That's a 41. We're going to go to the end of that decade to, I believe, 49 with this Ford horn button. This was mounted in the horn ring for, I think, a 49 or 50 Ford. I think this is 49. I think 50 was gold around here. But once again, this is a plastic center, metal ring. Steel Ponies Jeff at 15 has the Ford logo in gold. This one, about the same size. Yep, about 4 inches as well. One interesting thing about this, though, is decades ago, apparently this thing was like loose in the horn ring or something because this mounts in the horn ring. So somebody cut this old ad out, like this heavy paper, and tucked it in here, probably to make it a little tighter. I have no idea. But it's still in there. So I'm going to leave it in there for the new bidder. Mark at 18. Let's get this thing going on the timer. On the pair of Ford horn buttons, the Super Deluxe and the 49. Steel Ponies Jeff at 20. Charles at 22. Steel Ponies Jeff at 25. Alec at 27. And there's our 1 minute mark. See if I can keep these things balanced here. Alec at 27. And there's the minute 20 mark. Minute 30 has now passed. We are coming down to the wire on this one. Jennifer's got to jump off. Glad you were able to get on this for a while tonight, Jennifer. Hope everything is going well for you, and glad you stopped by and hung out for a while. Appreciate it. Steel Ponies Jeff at 30. 15 seconds left to go. X-Ray Dean at 31. 10. And that does it. X-Ray Dean at 31. Get my tape all strung around back here so I keep this stuff straight. And there we go. Tape back together, put them off the side, get them on the way to X-ray. All right, we haven't done a cap yet tonight. Let's do a cap. What do we got in the cap box? Let's do a rerun on a cap from January. This is an old Pontiac. It's kind of rough. The back of it's all rusted out, so it's not really good for a car. But it's a good-looking cap for a 1957 Pontiac. Check this one out. You guys may remember this from a few months back. Alex got to get another beverage. Let's help you out with that, too. This is one that does have a rusted out back, so it's not, you couldn't use it on a car. But it does have a nice, cool, patinaed look to the front, which makes a great wall hanger, and that's what we want these for. So this is the 57 Pontiac cap from a few months back. It is a just under 10-inch in diameter cap. So anyway, let's roll on this Pontiac cap. And we need to get some cans. We need to do some cans next. We need to think about the cans. I'm not used to doing cans, and we're having any good cans in a while. Kind of not getting used to them. So anyway, who wants to get rolling on the Pontiac cap on this little 57 Pontiac dog dish cap? Yeah, change holder. They work for that, except you can't see the front of them if you do that. Tony at 10. Bill Disk at 5, but I had Tony at 10. Michael's got his sunglasses on over here. It's a little too bright for him. Tony at 10. Sounds like some metal cans. Tony at 10 as we hit the 1 minute mark. Michael at 12 on Facebook. Leo is ready for some cans. Minute 20 has passed. Michael at 12. Tony at 16. Minute 30 has passed. Tony at 16. $20 seconds left. Tony at 16 is the high bidder with 10 to go. And that does it. Tony at 16. All right, Weston's here. So toys or plates. We sold one toy and we sold the bundle with 2 plates, but we got a lot of cool plates to go yet tonight. So you're still fine. All right, cans. Back to some real metal cans. I've gotten quite a few in lately. I bought a batch from Tim, Mr. Good Pliers. I picked up a batch of the Wichita Swap Meet. Plus, amongst others, I've had laying around. So he does have, all right, Tony does have a 57 Pontiac, so that's good. And that is Tony's first buy. So, all right, congratulations to Tony. That's his first win. So if you've got any questions about paying me or anything, Tony, just give me a call tomorrow. If not, PayPal, friends and family, check money, or all that information is in the description. So congratulations to Tony on his first win. Anyway, metal cans, a pair. And this is a set of Texaco Haviland. We've done something similar to this one in the past, the blue and white Texaco Haviland with this logo on it. This has the top in it. The bottom has been cut out on this one. Steel can, you can see the seam, nice paint, nice graphics, nice logo. Going with that, we've got the gold Texaco Haviland with the same logo up at the top and just basically kind of the opposite type deal on. It's got the blue band on it, but we're gold instead of white with a different spot on the logo. And this is super premium Haviland. This was punched at the top. Bottom is intact. It is a metal can. Steel Ponies, Jeff, at 10. You are getting the pair of them for one money. Steel Ponies, Jeff, at 10 is starting us off. The set of Texaco Haviland metal cans. And here we go. Steel Ponies, Jeff, at 10. Michael at 14 on Facebook. Both cans, one money shipped to you. These are both empty, original steel painted cans. Michael at 14. Steel Ponies, Jeff, at 16. Billy Bowman's here with us. As we've hit the 1 minute mark, I've got Steel Ponies, Jeff, at 16. Raymond's here. Dennis at 18. As we're just about to the minute 30 mark, I've got Dennis at 18. And there's our minute 30. We're down to the wire on this thing. But if you're going to jump in, now is the time. Dennis at 18 on the pair. Steel Ponies, Jeff, at 20. Ten seconds left. Yes, these are metal. Kenny at 22. Pete at 36. And that does it. Pete hit that one dead on. Pete at 36, and he got that in at about 158. Steel Pony Jeff came back at 25. It was too late. Pete at 36. Let's do another cap. This is what I got from Tim, Mr. Good Pliers. It's a pretty cool one. So is the Auburn badge. The Auburn badge is always good. This cap here is early, but it's kind of banged up. It's probably late 30s, early 40s, but it is cool because of the stamping in it. But it is banged up a little bit. Like I said, got this from Tim, Mr. Good Pliers. Be sure to check him out on this cool old Dodge cap. Got the Ram's head stamped right in it. Like I said, it's got some pretty good whammos over here. I don't know if you guys can see it or not. Definitely not a show quality cap, but for a display piece with all these ridges in them, yes, these are all ridges stamped into this. And the Dodge logo right in the middle. It is basically, it's a metal cap, a steel cap with a chrome cap put over top of it. Rusty James is starting us off at 5, but it's a neat looking cap. It just got some big whammos in it over here. But like I said, if you're going to hang this thing on the wall and admire it, who cares? You know, tells part of its story. This was some sort of a purplish or burgundy around the ram's head. Touch that back up, really make this thing pop. It is just a tick under 10 inches. So, yep, great wall hanger, says Leo. Rusty at 5. Let's get this thing live on this. I think it's late 30s, early 40s Dodge cap with the super cool ram's head in it. Rusty at 5. As we hit the 1 minute mark, Rusty at 5. I thought this thing was cooler than that. Apparently not. X-Ray is on Facebook now. Lost connection on YouTube for some reason. Well, I'll watch for you over here, Dean. Ever since Sniper, yeah, nothing's happening. And we're almost to a minute 30. Alex at 15. There's the minute 30 mark. Alex at 15. We've hit the minute 30 mark. David Woodcock's on Facebook with us. David, I think I'm waiting on an address from you from a couple weeks ago, too. We talked about that earlier. 20 seconds left to go. Alex at 15. 10. And that does it. Alex at 15. That was a pretty cool buy for $15. All right, let's do another pair of plates. Harry jumped on with us on Facebook. That's right, Alex. That was a pretty good buy for that thing. That's pretty cool. Let's do a pair of plates. Oh, actually, I grabbed 3 plates. We'll do that plate later. I told you a pair, so we'll do the pair first. These are not consecutive numbers, but almost. This is a pair of 1976 Kansas plates with stickers up to 1980. So no problem, David. Not a problem at all. I just wanted to let you know I still had one hanging for you. This is 1976 Kansas 1216 with stickers up to 1980 and 1218. So I don't know what happened to 1217, but it wasn't in the box. These do have a great color. These are a deep blue with white letters. This one does have some dents and scratches in it. You know, back sides of them both still look pretty good. Steel Ponies, Jeff at 20. You're getting the pair, a one-shot deal. This is that's right, bicentennial year, says Kenny. That's right. 1216 and 1218, they are going together. You can see how shiny they are and how much color these still have in them. Obviously been stored inside for a really long time, but I thought, what the heck? They're not quite consecutive, but what the heck? They're 1216 and 1218. Let's keep them together. Let's add them to somebody else's collection. Let's put them on your wall, and you can enjoy them as much as I enjoy this old stuff. So anyway, yep, I did wax these real quick. I ran over them real quick with some compound and gave them a quick coat of wax. brought a little bit of the color out in them, even more so, and they do look good. I've got Steel Ponies Jeff at 20, and let's get this thing going on the timer. Michael at 28 on Facebook. Michael at 28, as we get a little closer to that 1 minute mark, we're ticking along. And there's our 1 minute mark. Michael at 28 on the pair. I can see through there. Minute 20 has passed. And there's our minute 30 mark. Michael at 28. Norma at 40. "20 seconds left. Norma at 40. "10 seconds left. Michael at 44. And that does it. Michael at 44. No, Norma came back at 45, 2 seconds too late. Yep, that's all right. We've still got some more cool plates to go, so we're not out. But we got Michael at 44 on Facebook. Norma tried to snipe him, but it was just 2 seconds too late. Mark says the delays are bad tonight, so please bear that in mind when you're getting ready to bid on something. Any Buick fans out there? How about a little Buick bundle here? Michael got a big old happy face up there. Yeah. All right, starting off with, in the Buick realm, this little tri-shield ornament. This is like a C-pillar emblem off of a Skylark. This is a little small pop metal emblem with the Buick tri-shield in it in this circle. It was stud mount. It is pop chrome-plated pop metal, late 60s era, 68, 69 era. And it is about 1 5/8 inches by 1.5 inches. So just kind of a cute little Buick ornament here. Going with that is a Buick horn button from the mid-50s with the earlier Buick logo in it, with the full crest, with the whole ornamentation all the way around it. Gold circle. This is a plastic center and a pop metal chromed ring. It is flat, has these clips back on it that held it onto the steering wheel. And it is 4 inches in diameter. So both pieces on the Buick badge bundle, well, badge and a horn button outfit, going together. See if I can hold this and get this in this finger. And there we go. So what do we think on the Buick pieces? We got any Buick fans out there tonight to get us started on these pieces here? This obviously does have a little discoloration. This would have been red. You can see a little bit of the red here, the blue here, and then the gold around on this stuff here. So let's roll with the Buick pieces. And Buick fans want to stay tuned. We got something else coming up as well. Michael starting us off at 12 on the Buick pieces. But Buick fans want to stay tuned because One of those epic pieces is a Buick piece. So, but Michael's going to start us off at 12 on this batch. All right, I got my notes made. We're ticking along here, and we're going to break out one of those super cool pieces here pretty quick. So, Alex at 5 over here. I've already got Michael at 12 on Facebook. So I've got Michael at 12. I would imagine that's probably an old bid that was hung up in there for as late as that came up, more than likely. But I've got Michael at 12 at this point right now on the Buick pieces. As we hit the 1 minute mark, Michael at 12. And there's the minute 20. And there's minute 30 has passed. We're down to the last 30 seconds. I've got Michael at 12. Ten seconds left. And that does it. We'll mark that one to Michael as well for 12. Put that with his plates. Tape them back together so I don't lose them. And ready to move on to the next one. Yep, I know. I think you're right, Pete. I think everybody's kind of sitting on their thumbs waiting for these other pieces. So let's catch a license plate. Then we're going to do one of the bigger badges, one of the cooler badges. This license plate, it's laying on top of the other badges, so we'll do it first, then I'll grab one. This license plate is in an envelope, however, it is not the correct envelope. But since this has been in an envelope, there's an Auburn badge for all these years, the condition on this thing is absolutely amazing. I did polish this one and wax it a little bit just real quickly. I didn't spend a lot of time on it. But this thing is drop dead gorgeous, really. I mean, I honestly probably should keep it, but I'm not going to keep it because I got enough license plates the way it is. This thing is so nice. You can still see the dirt specks in the paint. That's how nice this thing is. This is what the back side of it looks like. That's the back. And this is a 1964. This plate is almost 60 years old. And it's a freaking mirror. Look at that. 3-digit, 750, 1964. I mean, if you look close, there's little specks of where they had dirt in the paint of this thing. I don't know if you can see it or not, but there you can kind of see a little bit of it. Steel Ponies Jeff at 20. This thing is knock your socks off gorgeous. I mean, it is. I mean, it's just a license plate. I know. Mark at 35, but holy cow. I mean, it was used. It's got, you can see where it had screws of it. Leo can see his hair in it. Yeah. It literally is that off the charts nice. Tweety at 35 as well. I had Mark at 35 first. I don't really know what else to say about this thing. Norma at 50. Other than wow. I mean, that's literally that's all I can say about it is wow. Let's get it on the timer and see what happens. Holy cow. Norma at 50. It is beautiful. It is probably one of the sexiest license plates we've ever sold condition-wise. So it's pretty craziness. But I mean, literally, you can see reflections in it. I wonder if, check that out. Can you guys see the timer in it? Eloy at 51. Can you see I'm holding my phone up. Can we see, you see the timer right here by my fingers? That's the kind of reflection we got on this thing. Norma at 60. Yep, you guys can see that. So you can see the timer. That's what this thing is. No, this is original. I did not paint this. I pulled it out of the envelope. I washed it and I waxed it. So there we go. There's the 1 minute mark. Norma at 60 as we've hit the 1 minute mark. I got to put that down. I can't hold everything. It's been in this envelope. This is a 1965 envelope. So this thing was taken off in 65, put in this envelope in 1965. Michael at 61, Eloy at 62 in 1965 until I got it out and waxed it and held it up for you guys. Eloy at 62, Norma at 100 at the minute 30 mark. It's way better than a Mako paint job. There's no doubt about it. Norma brought out the cannon with a $100 bid. 20 seconds left to go. That's like a battleship shot right there, I think. 10 seconds left to go. Norma at 100. David W. at 102. Norma at 105, and that does it. Oh, she got that one tight, but she got it in at 105. She barely knocked out David W. Throwing Sparks at 110, but Norma at 105 at the 2 minute mark. I got so excited I forgot to write it down. Let me get my notes caught up. Cool piece. Like I said, I'll let you guys look at it one more time before we send it to Norma, because I just was just so amazed by this thing. All right, back in its envelope and on the way for Norma to enjoy. All right, like I promised you guys, one of the cool pieces. We've looked at mine before. It's been a while. Actually, we all need a couple of these after that one. That's right, Ozark. You don't snipe on Norma. She shows up with battleship cannons. And to follow that up, like I told you, we should take it down a notch. But I told you, coming up next, one of these super cool badges. We've looked at mine before. I told you I would never sell it. Mine is almost mint. It's one that Addie and I got out of that big badge collection, and we love it. It's definitely one of our favorite pieces. But I found another one. Like you guys know, just from the tidbits you saw from the swap meet videos, the Missouri run, the salvage yards I've been hitting, the antique shops I've been hitting, I've come up with some amazing stuff. The first one we're going to do right now, and I know you guys are going to love it, because I know when we looked at them before, it's a knock your socks off piece. It's 2 3/4 inches in diameter. It was used from 1936 to 1938 on Studebakers. Who remembers this thing? Now, this isn't quite as good as mine. It's got a chip here, and it's got a little chip here, and my red is a little bit deeper. But these things are awesome. I love these. You know, like I said, we looked at mine on badges several months ago. I told you I would never sell mine. Well, I stumbled onto another one. I'm going to sell this one to you guys. I hope. I mean, I had to pay up to get this thing, but I knew you guys loved them. It is an enamel badge. Jess is starting us off at 40. Like I said, it is 2 3/4 in diameter. So we're 2 3/4 across here. It is stud mount. The stud has actually had some repair work done on it, where it had some bubblegum welding or something down here. I'm not sure what they did here. Michael at 45 on Facebook. The red is enameling. This is chrome on the letters and chrome around the perimeter. It does have a slight dish to it, as you can see. Jess at 55. But just amazing. I mean, we looked at mine. I mean, mine doesn't have the chips in a little deeper red. Mine's about as close to mint as you can get. I'm sure it's not mint if you put it under a magnifying glass, but still a pretty epic piece. This one is going to belong to one of you guys here in a couple of minutes. But there it is, the 1936 to 1938 Studebaker Grill Badge. Michael at 58 on Facebook. And let's see who ends up with it. Let's get it going. 2 3/4, Rico. 2 3/4 in diameter. Jess at 60. And we are live. We are ticking away. You do not stumble on these very often. It's been a long time ago that we looked at mine, and I come across this one. I was like, oh, you guys will love it. Jess at 60. We'll give her an Auburn badge to think about it. Michael at 63. And there's the 1 minute mark. Michael at 63. As we hit the 1 minute mark, we are halfway there. $120 has now passed. Michael at 63. Figured we had a few more bidders on this. I thought for as much as everybody liked these, but we're not done yet. We'll see what happens. But we are at the minute 30 mark. 1 minute, 30 seconds has passed. We're coming down to the wire on this. Michael at 63 on this super cool Studebaker badge. 20 seconds left to go. Alex at 75. Alex at 75 on YouTube. 10 seconds. Alex at 75. And that does it. Alex at 75. Got it. Great piece. Beautiful. And believe it or not, we got one that's prettier than that coming up. Okay. Let's see. We haven't done any cans in for a while. We haven't done any caps for a while. Let's, what do we got here? What do we got here? That I don't blame you, Alex. That's a great piece. So Mark wants some emblems. We got some emblems as well. So let's do a cap, then we'll do emblems, and then we may catch this other big badge. We still got plates, we still got cans, we got all kinds of stuff to go yet tonight, guys. But who likes Oldsmobile caps? We may have done one of these a while back, I'm not sure, but this is a really cool badge that Oldsmobile used in the early 50s. It's kind of unique. It's not one that you see very often. Get it up there a little closer. You guys can make out the badge. It is a chrome cap. Like I said, early 50s. Metal back with the chrome cap overlaid on it. Kind of a cool, it comes up the side, dishes back in, then has this kind of ball in the middle with the Oldsmobile badge on it. Mark's got his sunglasses on as well. And Let me give you a dimension on this, and then we'll get rolling on this little Oldsmobile cap. Just over 10 inches, about 10 1/4 in diameter on the Oldsmobile cap. What's everybody think on this one? Anybody interested in the Olds cap? As I sort through this other stuff here and get ready to go with some more stuff. Mark at 15 on the Olds cap. It is a good looking piece. It does have nice bright chrome, obviously. And the cool little Oldsmobile badge in the middle. I've got Mark at 15. Better get it written up so I don't forget. Steel Pony Jeff's got to jump off, change his work. Money order away, no problem. Jeff, great. Glad you had fun tonight. Thanks for hanging out and helping make this thing what it is. So, Mark at 15 on the Olds cap. And we've hit the 1 minute mark. And there's a minute 20. Minute 30 has passed. Mark at 15. This might be easy on you, Mark. $20 seconds left. Mark's worried now. 10 seconds to go. Bill Disk at 17. And that does it. He did slide that one in at 17. All right. And Mark wanted some emblems. So let's do some emblems next. Then we may do this other badge. Oh, I still got that 5-gallon can too. Anybody interested in a steel 5-gallon Skelly? We can do it too. Let me know if you guys are interested in doing a 5-gallon. But we're going to do a pair of Mopar emblems here. Both early 50s era. 51, 52 era Plymouth. Nice chrome on this. This is a pot metal emblem. Missing one stud, has 2 of them there. It's a pretty much a flat emblem on the back. Does have a curvature to it up here. It is pot metal with nice chrome on. Okay, Tweedledee, yeah, we'll show that 5-gallon here in a minute. See what you guys think of it, because it would have additional shipping on it. So we'll do the little Cranbrook, and we're going to do a Wayfarer with it. The Dodge Wayfarer Fluid Drive. Once again, a pot metal chrome-plated emblem, great shape, flat mount, stud mount for early 50s era Dodge Wayfarer. These are both original pot metal emblems that still look really nice for their age. This one's 9 inches. And 9 1/4. It was some sort of an early 50s Plymouth. Yes, I don't remember if it was a Cranbrook or what it was, but it was that era of Plymouth. Yes, it was. So anyway, on the pair of Mopar badges, what's everybody think about these things? I'm going to crack my neck. So Mark put 2 inches. Is that what you 20? Okay. Mark said 20. Pete said, yeah, it was a Cranbrook, so it would be something similar to this one. 20 makes a lot more sense, Mark. Yeah, the inch thing there, everybody, it kind of threw me off. So. No problem, Mark. It just took me a second to figure it out. Not a big deal. All right. Mark at 20 on the pair. Bill Disc is bidding 3 inches instead of 2 inches. As we hit the minute mark. Yep, there's always a comedian. This group has a lot of them, but at least it's all in good fun, and they're usually pretty funny. So, minute 20's passed. And there's the minute 30 mark. $20 seconds left to go. Bill tries his worst. 10 seconds left. Mark at 20. And that did it. You didn't get sniped that time, Mark. You wanted some emblems, so that's what we got, and you got them. All right. Okay, who's ready for the next super cool piece? Uber cool piece. And it's gonna have a minimum on it because I don't want to sell it, even though I've got 2 of them. I don't want to sell it. But we're gonna look at it. This is I think one of the most beautiful badges we've ever looked at. Hands down. I've been a fan of it for years. We looked at one a while back. Like I said, and I do want to get a minimum out of this because I'll just keep it and put it with the rest of them. I mean, I can look at 3 of them just as easy as I can look at 2 of them because I love these things so much. It is a Buick badge. We have looked at them in the past. I think it is one of the best ones they ever did. Nice size, amazing colors, and absolutely just a gorgeous piece. No, it doesn't say Buick 8 on it, Dean. But without further ado, here it is, the 1942 and 1946 Buick front hood crest. Now, I love these things. I don't know if you guys love them as much as I love them, because I love them. This does have a few whammos in it, a little one down here. Actually, that's about it. It's got a chip down here at the bottom. The rest of this, it's all original. All this enameling is original. The diamonds are blue. Yeah, it is eye candy. There is no doubt about it. We see the stag and the cross in gold. This is a pot metal housing that it is set in. It is chrome plated. This would be a really big hat pin. It is. Almost square by the tips. You go tip to tip, it's about 4 3/8, and tip to tip, it's about 4 3/8. On the back, you can see where it was mounted to the hood. It's got a clip here that holds the enameled piece to the chrome housing. Randy started off at 55. That's a good solid start. We're not quite there, but that's a great start. So this piece here is actually separate of this housing. This is all cast pot metal all the way around. All this decoration and all this here is all cast into the pot metal piece. This is a separate piece that is mounted. Oh, Alec was in at 50 and Randy at 55. So we got a good start. We're not quite there yet, but It is an amazing piece. It is V'd because it went on the front of the hood. So this is a stunning piece. Mark at 75, almost there. Because I think it needs to bring close to 100. I can't see why it wouldn't bring close to 100. So Mark at 75, Michael at 75. Brian's a fan of the Tri-Shield. I've got Mark and Michael both at 75. So if somebody wants to break that up, I think we'll just go ahead and throw it on the timer. So if somebody wants to break up the 75, we'll roll with it. We're getting pretty close to what I think it needs to bring because, like I said, I just think these things are stunning, to say the least. So it's a good piece. Mark at 80. Mark's going to throw the 80 out there. So I guess that means we're going to sell it. So let's roll with it and see what happens. We are on the timer. Mark at 80 on an absolutely stunning Buick badge. Randy at 85. Michael at 83. I've already got Randy at 85. Mark at 88. Michael at 88 at the same time. What's the deal with you guys? You're bidding the same thing at the same time every time. We're hung up. Mark and Michael both at 88 at the same time. One on YouTube, one on Facebook. But we're still not quite to the minute mark, so. We're just about there. Mark at 90. And there's the 1 minute mark. I've got Mark at 90 on this stunning 42 and 46 Buick badge. And now I got Michael at 90, but I did have Mark first at 90 on at that time, Michael. So I've got Mark at 90. There's the minute 20 mark. And 1 minute, 30 seconds has passed. We're down to the wire. Mark at 90. This one might get interesting here in about 20 seconds. We'll see if anybody's what's going to happen. Yeah, snipers may be waiting. We're coming down to the wire. This is the front of the hood, number one. Front edge of the hood. Mark at 90. 10 seconds left to go. And that does it. Mark at 90. No, I don't think it's new because it's got a little chip at the bottom. Randy came in at 91, just a little bit too late. Mark at 90. Absolutely amazing piece. All right. Well, that was fun too. Hudson badge. Oh, the 5-gallon can. You guys want to see the 5-gallon can to see if you're in any interest. $20 flat shipping on it, just due to size. We're going to show it to you and see what you guys think of the 5-gallon that I've got here. It was close. I think it should have broke 100, but we were pretty close to that. And like I said, I want this stuff to go to your guys' collections as well. So I thought it should have, broke 100, but we were right there, and it's going to one of you guys, and that's what's important too. So here's the 5-gallon we've got. It has a handle. It has a wooden handle on it, no lid. It's an open top on this 5-gallon Skelly. We've got flaking of the paint over here. Obviously, the Skelly logo, the Skelly Supreme, all that stuff looks really good. And we see all of the oil derricks all the way around the bottom of this thing, except for where it's flaked off. So, works good for a wastebasket or other multitude of other things. just does have some peeling right over here on this side. So we can sell this. There would be $20 shipping on it if anybody's interested. You guys tell me. That's why it's here. Let you guys look at it, see what you guys think if you're interested. If not, we've still got some corks. We've still got some cans. We've still got some plates. So what do you guys think? You wanted to see it? There it is. Is there any interest in it, or do we go back to the smaller ones? Yeah, if we sell it, I'll put everybody else's auction winnings in it for sure, or their auction winnings in it if they buy other stuff. But anyway, not seeing a lot of love for the Skelly can. Tweedledee says 10. Pete says too big for him. So Tweedledee is going to start us off at 10 on it. There would be $20 shipping on it. So is there any other interest in this can, or, should we not worry about it? Because, with the shipping and everything on it, that's kind of about where we would be on it. So that's what I figured. It'd be a cool wastebasket. So what's everybody think? Must not be much interest. Tweedledee at 10, Eloy at 20. So, all right. So there's a few guys that like it. Let's go ahead and sell it. It'll be plus the $20. So let's get it on the timer. "13 inches tall, and 12 inches across." So we're going to write it up. We're going to move with it. Eloy at 20. Yep, you can hang it from the ceiling. I know that's what Rico does with them. Whoa, come back here. There's the 1 minute mark. Eloy at 20. Or lampshade, yep. Minute 20 has passed. Travis has got to jump off. Glad you're here for a while tonight. And there's the minute 30 mark. Eloy at 20. Michael at 22 on Facebook. Michael at 22. 20 seconds left to go. 10. 9. And that does it. Michael at 22. All right, that's a cool piece. But it is heavy holding it there for 2 minutes. So that will be 42 total on that one, Michael. Okay. We haven't done a Chevy cap tonight. How do we do a Chevy cap? I think this is like a 55 maybe. The little dog dish with all the little happy little bow ties all the way around it. It's bright and shiny. It's got some dings and dents. It's almost 70 years old. Back's clean on it. Brian Dispatch has to jump off, get some rest. That's for sure, buddy. Get some rest so you get to feeling better. Catch the rest of us tomorrow. 10 5/8 in diameter on this one. Nice, bright, shiny chrome, obviously, with all these little bow ties. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 little bow ties all the way around it. So, I said, Dennis says it is 55. Okay, that's what I was thinking. So, anyway, on the 55 Chevy cap, let's get this thing going. About 10.5 inches in diameter. Nice, bright, shiny chrome, and a whole bunch of happy little bow ties. I think this was black around the back side of the bow ties. It comes to a peak in the middle, and then this would have been painted black, and then the bow ties would have, stood out against that black with the chrome around the edges. So, on the 55 Chevy cap, what do we think on this one? Weston is starting us off at 5, and we are live on this one. We are on the timer, so West is starting us off at 5. Norma at 10. Oh, actually, his was white. Yeah, and I think that's right. I think I have some of them that were white, but it looks like this one was black. Weston at 13. Weston at 13 as we hit the 1 minute mark on the little Chevy cap. And 1:20 has passed. Kenny at 15. Norma at 15. I had Kenny at 15 first. 20 seconds left. Big Job at 25. 10 seconds. Pete at 26. And that does it. Pete at 26. All right. A few more things I got laid out here, and then we'll probably call it a night and get on to the magazine, because the magazine is still off the charts. But we'll do some plates, some badges, and some cans yet, and then we'll wrap tonight up. These next two plates also just kind of mind-blowing, and I'm going to sell these as a pair. I want them to stay together. Maybe an Auburn badge to think about this one. In fact, you guys might want to refresh before we get to these. Save Big Job from another gift. These are 1975 Kansas plates, and not quite as good as the 64 we just looked at, but not too far off. And I am going to sell these as a pair because I kind of want them to stay together. I kind of want them to hang together. They've been together for 48 years. So I kind of want to keep them together. This is a 1975 Kansas in green. This, once again, completely original. And look at the back of this one. And look at the front of it. Just about as good as the 64 we just sold. I don't know if we can see the timer in it or not, but I get the reflection just right. Can't get the angle of the dangle. Right, there we go. There we can see it. You see the timer? Now, what gets cooler than a plate that's 48 years old that looks this good? Well, believe it or not, it's going to get a little bit cooler. Because not only do we have plate 113, we've also got plate 114 to go right with it. Yes. In order, sequential numbers, 113 and 114, both in just knockout condition. The back of the 114 looks about as good. That's right, but wait, there's more. There's 113 and 114. Selling as a pair. Like I said, just after 48 years, I think they need to go to the same collection and stay together. You can see the sheen on these things is just amazing. These are regular standard size 12x6 plates, but just in order and absolutely amazing. Yeah, they're not dust in the wind. That's true, number one. These things are just outstanding. So I guess it's time to sell them. It's time to add these to somebody else's collection. And we are live on the timer. I'm going to make some notes. Norma at 50. Alec came in at 30. I've got Norma at 50. As we're working our way towards the 1 minute mark. That's 2 bids. It's going to be interesting to see what happens here. Alec at 30, Norma at 50, and then crickets. Crickets. Those both came in about the time we hit the timer, and now we're at the 1 minute mark. Alec at 65. You are getting the pair. Norma at 100. There again, Norma's bringing out the battleship guns. Minute 20. But it is a cool pair. Condition is amazing. In order, 113, 114, keeping them together. Norma at 100. As we've hit the minute 30 mark. $15 seconds left to go. Eloy at 105. 10 seconds left. Norma at 110. Norma is right on top of those deals. Down to the last few seconds. And that does it. Norma at 110. Beautiful pieces. I love them. Eloy came back at 115. Eloy was in there swinging. Okay, I've got 3 more things on the desk, so we're going to do those, and then we're going to keep moving. Cans, emblems, and 1 more plate. Let's do a couple of more steel cans. This time we're going to go with Quaker State. These are both quartz. These are both original metal cans. Quaker State Deluxe. It is metal. Still has the metal seam on it. The top was punched, but you can still make out, whoops, a little bit of water in that one where I washed it earlier today. Kenny knows better than a bit on plates when Norma's on. This can is actually dated 1981, so it is a little over 40 years old. Original metal can on the Quaker State Deluxe. Now, we're going to throw another Quaker State in there with it. And it's a great looking can as well. And it is metal. On the Quaker State FLMAT automatic transmission fluid. This is metal can punched on the top where it was used. Good colors on this one as well. Quaker State Oil Refining Company, Oil City, Pennsylvania. Both of these are regular steel metal quart cans. This one has a little bit of surface rust on this side, but still a good looking pair of cans. Tweedledee kicking us off at 30. you are getting both Quaker State cans for one bid, both original steel painted cans, good looking cans on the Quaker State quartz. Randy came in at 15. I've already got Tweely D at 30. That must have been an old one hanging in there, I'm sure, Randy. Tweely D at 30 on the pair. Michael at 36 on Facebook. As we come up on the 1 minute mark, Michael at 36. And there's our 1 minute. Yeah, Michael is on a roll tonight. He's had a good night tonight. We got one more super cool license plate, too. Awesome license plate. And there's the minute 20 mark. Minute 30's passed. Michael at 36. We're going to do these, some Chevy badges, and then a super, super cool license plate. 20 seconds left to go, and then we're going to get to the magazine. Ten seconds left. Tweely D at 45, and that does it. Whoo! Come in at 158. Tweedly D at 45 on the pair. That was a good shot. But it's a good thing you weren't 2 seconds later, or it would have been too late. Tweedly D at 45. Oof, that was a close shot, but it worked. All right, some Chevy truck badges, an awesome license plate, and then we're going to move on to the magazine. So here we go, everybody. Couple more auctions. As always, when we do the Chevy badges, I always throw a plastic bow tie in just because you can use them anywhere. Flat, double-sided tape mounted blue bow tie. They're just handy to have around for decoration. 4 1/4 inches. So I always throw one of these in with the Chevy badge bundles. The next one, the late 60s, early 70s pickup 350 badge. Just went on the front fenders. 5 3/4 long by 7/8 tall. This is a pot metal stud mount emblem. And I think this is 64 maybe, C10 emblem on the front fender. I think this was 64, maybe 66. This might be 66. This is a square badge. It is pot metal. It did have mounting studs, but the mounting studs are broken. It is 5 1/4 by 2 3/4. It is a cast pot metal emblem. You can see all this in the back of it. The bow tie would have been blue. This background would have been red. Then, of course, the 10 for the half-ton. Maybe this is 66. Chevy pickup. It's 64 or 66. I know it's not 65. But anyway, on the Chevy truck badge bundle, all three, one money. What's everybody think on the Chevy truck badges? Yep, Norma's been all over these things tonight. So, all right, Chevy truck badges next. One more license plate, and then we're moving on. Mark at 15. Let me get my notes made here so I don't forget to do something. All right, Mark at 15. Michael at 20 on Facebook. Just give Norma the plates. This next plate may be a little tougher. It's pretty cool. And there's the 1 minute mark. Michael at 20 as we hit the 1 minute mark. And there's a minute 20, mark at 23. Mark at 23 with 20 seconds left to go. And that does it. Mark at 23. These tape back together so I don't lose them or mix them up with anything. And let's do one more awesome license plate tonight. We'll end on a high note tonight, guys, because this thing is so cool. I'll give you an Auburn badge beforehand. You might want to hit that refresh button again before we get into this one, because we've done some great license plates tonight. And believe it or not, I've got some more super cool stuff coming. But this license plate here is a special, special piece. Obviously, the condition on those other ones were amazing. This one doesn't quite have the condition, but it's got an excuse. Yep, it's got an excuse because it's 106 years old. Yep, it's a 1917 Kansas plate. It's in good shape, but the colors have obviously faded. There's no doubt about it. The colors are definitely a little weak. Eric at 55. It's not really been up too bad. We can see on the back where it had more of the original kind of olive green or off-white or some weird color there on the back of this one. Tweedledee at 65. KAN 151817. Now, this is not your normal size plate. It is a little bit larger. It is almost 15 inches. It's still 6 inches tall, which is about what the other plates are, but it's almost 15. The other plates are about 12. Mark at 75. Obviously, lots of bids pouring in on this one. This corner is bent a little bit, but overall, considering this thing's over 100 years old, it doesn't look too bad at all. Beautiful piece, super cool. You know, I wouldn't be selling any of these if I had not bought that big collection that I did get. So it's an amazing piece. Let's get this thing on the timer. Let's get rolling on it. Let's see what happens. It's a beautiful piece. It's going to be a special piece to your guys' collection when we get this stuff this old. You know, we come across some of this stuff, but it's, you know, onesies and twosies here and there. So it's a pretty neat piece. Mark at 75. Norma's cleaning her barrel. That's probably right. She's resetting the scope and everything. So Frank at 80. It does not say 1917 on it. I compared it to mine and marked it so I knew which one it was. These early Kansas plates, most of them did not have the year on them. I just compared it to mine on my board of unrestored ones so I knew which one it was. So Frank at 80. There's 1 minute. So let's see what happens. Frank at 80. And there's the minute 20 mark. Coming up on the minute 30. Norma at 125 with 1 minute and 30 seconds. We've hit the minute 30 mark. We've got a little under 30 seconds left. Norma at 125. That's right, Eric. That's a good way to put it. None. I think it's just a coincidence, actually. Norma at 125. Frank at 130. 10 seconds left to go. Frank at 130. Norma at 140. And that does it. Norma got it. No. Frank came back at 2:01 at 141, but Norma was there at 140. That was quite the battle between Frank and Norma, and Frank was 1 second late on the 141. Whew, that one was tight too. But an awesome piece. There's no doubt about it. Thanks for playing, Frank. That was tight. You almost had that one. Holy cow. All right. So, well, it was close, Frank. Appreciate you bidding. I know you don't bid very often with us, but it was fun when you do. So, yeah. That's another part of the problem with the Frank. We've got the delay. We got to fight. You never know. So that lag can get you. Everybody needs an Auburn and a Hudson badge after that. We had a great auction tonight, guys, and we're adding a ton of great pieces to your guys' collection, like I said. And we're just getting started. I've had some great stuff come in over the last month and still sorting through it. But Bill Disk has to hop off, so glad you made it for a while tonight. But don't worry, Frank, we've got some more super cool plates coming up. Next week, rarest plate we've ever had that we're going to run through the auction. So stay tuned for that. And we've got a few more earlier plates. I've got a few out-of-state plates I came up with. I got some specialty plates I've come up with. And there's still some cool stuff in here we didn't even get to tonight. So we'll save all that for next week, as well as add to it. What are you doing over there, Cat? Yes, you. I'm talking to you. All right. Great time tonight. Who would have been the Oldsmobile dealer in Abilene in 1955? Looking for a dealer badge. Boy, I'm not sure, Frank. I don't remember that one. I've seen so many of those badges over the years. I'm sure I've probably seen it. But off the top of my head, I can't remember which dealer that was. So anyway, moving forward, after everybody takes a breath and a few more drinks, let's get back into the February 1965 issue of Hot Rod Magazine. You guys remember this thing was mind-blowing last week. If you like old drag cars, you're going to have to hang in there with us. This thing is awesome. Not only do we have more killer dragsters in here, we also have awesome ads and classifieds. We all love classifieds. And remember, looking back, wishing we had a time machine and a big building and a lot of money. But anyway, the February 1965 issue of Hot Rod Magazine, cover price of 50 cents. Let's get into the back half of this magazine. Right out of the gate, it's going to be great, and it's going to be super exciting. If you'll remember, this is what we finished up with last week. And we're going to move forward a couple pages to a car that I know we've all heard of and all know well. And the crazy part about it is they are still out there today. They were at the Gators last week. Yes, it's the Bounty Hunter. Connie Kalita and the Bounty Hunter. Crazy to think about. This is 1965. There's Connie Kalita with the Bounty Hunter, and they are still out there racing today. Almost 60 years later. Tony says the magazine's his favorite part. Well, I hope we're starting it off right. I mean, check out the action shot of the Bounty Hunter, the rear engine digger Connie Kalita was running in 1965. Of course, running a Gen 1 Hemi and making a ton of power, obviously definitely making a name for himself already in 1965. And still today, the Coletta team is still a force to be reckoned with. So Rusty now's got to bail off. Daniel was at the Gators last week. Sweet. And one thing about this magazine, it is just one awesome rear engine digger or front engine digger after another. This next one, called Just a Little Longer, about the Guzzler. It was quick, it was stable, but the Guzzler improved in both departments when they made it just a little longer. Now, one thing about this Guzzler is it's got some awesome pictures of this. Obviously, front engine digger, Chrysler Hemi powered, as everything was at that point. But check out this interior shot. I mean, we all know you sit literally right over the rear axle, but this literally shows you where you sit. I mean, your legs, you sit, your butt's here, and your legs go right up over the rear axle, right next to the drive shaft, your feet right there beside the clutch. Probably not the safest contraption in the world, as we know after Don Garlitz's clutch explosion. But a beautiful car, blown Hemi power, just super, super cool stuff. And the next page, the Barnstormer. Now, this is also another name that became extremely... That's right, Pete, no scatter shield either. Good point, Kenny. Safety third. Like Palmer always says, safety third. Yeah, I got run around Scott Palmer too long and messing around with fuel cars, hanging out with him. Safety third comes into play quite often in some of the stuff those guys do. But the next car, the Barnstormer, another well-known name, TV Tommy Ivo. Tom Ivo proves his products by taking them on tour with quick quarters in every quarter of the United States and England. TV Tommy Ivo's Barnstormer. I told you guys this magazine was epic. I hope it's hanging in there, that you guys are happy with it. The next one, another front engine digger, the Brothers Fast, the Coleman Brothers. Moving up from Gassers, the Reese Brothers. The Coleman Brothers Speed Shop. They must have built the motor. Double A fueler on this, once again, blown, first generation Hemi. All these are punched out 392s from what I've been reading. And just super cool shots. That's right, Randy. TV Tommy Ivo was a promoter. He was great at it. That's why he was so well known for doing match races. The next page, once again, they just keep coming, and we're about done with them. But I can't not show them to you guys. That's the problem. It's another front engine digger with a blown Gen 1 Hemi in it, but you can't not check them out because the coolness factor is so high that you can't skip them. But once again, this one is massive, though. This is a bored and stroked 392. They knocked this thing out to a 464. Yes, 464-inch Chrysler. Bored, stroked out of a 392, Crower cam and valve train, Enderley barn doors feed an Arab Albrick chain-driven 671 with 19 pounds pushing the air through. And this is another crazy thing about it. Something else kind of different. But check this out. Not only is this thing knocked out to a 464, look at this blower drive on this thing, guys. It's not a belt. That thing's a chain-driven blower. Big Jeff, remember seeing that car. Probably the Tommy Ivo car, I'm guessing. I'm not sure. Yep, that's right. Tommy Ivo was a child's actor. That's right. He did make the quad-engine cars Buick powered. That's also true, too. And that's right, Randy. 60 years later, they're still running the Hemi platform. Yep, Daniel, that's right. 2 or 3 guys could get together and run a AA fuel dragster, but it is tough today. That's one thing about Palmer. That's why I admire the guy so much. You know, I've known that knucklehead for 25 years, and he's a great dude. He's as real as it gets, and he's going to run nitro no matter what it takes, and he's going to make it happen, and he's done it. So that's a good question, Randy. Did the blower make more noise or the chain make more noise? I'm not really sure. But stuff they were experimenting with back then. Just like Studezilla. You know, hook a nitro motor in a door car. Sounds like a good idea to Palmer. Why not? And one more, we're going to mix it up a little bit to I don't know if this is a gas car or what this one was, because it's actually not powered by a Hemi, but it is a front engine car. That's right. The chain made a lot of noise when it broke. That's true. This is a small block Chevy powered front engine digger. So a little bit different, not quite as wild. Tony just got the July 68 issue of Superstock and Drag Illustrated. Yeah. I mean, I love these old magazines. Obviously, I'm a drag racing fan. Love seeing these old cars. And I'm glad you guys are enjoying it as well. did hero mean idiot back then? Could be debated. Now, the next thing we're going to show you actually isn't even a car. No, hot rods sometimes did not always have cars in them. That's right, Randy. One pass is about 10 grand. But they actually had boats in Hot Rod magazine back then. Yep. Something a little bit different. I keep running over my shoelace, getting wound up in the chair. But they did cover some boats. They covered some motorcycles. They did that kind of stuff. Yep, number one was right with a boat. Even had color shots of some of these boat engine setups. Going show boats with no limit on cubic inches and a spacious engine compartment for a showroom. The builder is able to exercise his imagination in both performance and appearance. Color shots of these boat engines. That's right, Kenny. If you remember the noise, you were ahead of it. Oldsmobile powered with 6 deuces, pair of small block Chevys in this one. And a W motor Chevy in this one, and an Allison in the lower one. I mean, check these things out. But yes, Hot Rod literally did cover boats back in the day. Here's another one that a lot of us are going to remember. Got into some specific details about this setup. Extremely, extremely popular exhibition vehicle back in the mid-'60s. I know you're all going to remember it. The Dodge Little Red Wagon. Check that thing out. Even shows where it has the drag spots on it for the wheel stand. Shows it with the shootout. Shows it putting it together. A lot of interesting stuff there about the Little Red Wagon. That's right, Bill Maverick Golden. That's for sure. These next several pages are drag racing coverage. So we're just going to look at the pictures. We don't need to get in all the details of who won what, but there are some great shots, great action shots. Big Job remembers going to see in the Little Red Wagon, watching it go down the drag strip. Yep, Hemi under glass. That's a cool car. So these next several pages, we're going to take a look at them. Part of these were in Houston. Part of it was in Hawaii, believe it or not. But some cool action shots. Garlets. One of the Gay Pontiacs, the super stock Gay cars from the Gay Pontiac dealership in Texas. Very competitive cars back in the 60s. And Island Caper, some Hawaii drag racing action. Beautiful new facilities in Honolulu's Civic Auditorium and Hawaiian Raceway Park were the settings for Hawaii's first annual Hot Rod Show and State Drag Championships. Yeah, and that's the part about their name was Gay. Don Gay. I mean, it was Don Gay Pontiac out of Texas. So, yep, that's literally what you got to call him because that was the guy's name. Michael remember seeing the Little Red Wagon at E-Town. Oh, I know. I didn't get done till I got done at midnight last night. I got home and in the shower right at 12 this morning. So I didn't get home from Auburn Cord Duesenberg yesterday until about 5:30. And I still had to get eBay ready. I still had to get all this stuff ready. So I got in the shower right at 12 this morning. So, but we were ready for tonight. That's what was important. And more action shots from Hawaii. Another interesting article in here. It's just 3 champagne beers deep. Yeah, we'll help you out with that. Hot Rod Magazine Top 10 membership in the Select Hot Rod Magazine Top 10 Club each year is reserved for those drivers who prove their abilities in quarter-mile competition. So some cool shots of that. Not a lot of great pictures in there. There were great pictures. They were just small. And one other interesting article before we get into the ads and the classifieds. Yeah, that's right, Tony. Arnie the Farmer Beswick, legendary Pontiac racer. He was out here a few years ago for the Indian Uprising they have every year here in Great Bend, all Pontiac Drags and Car Show. So I did get to meet him out there and got his autograph on some stuff. So, yep, great guy there as well. That's another good point. The 1965 stock car rules. Yes, what did NASCAR say in 1965 after Chrysler came in 1964 and pretty much mopped the track with everybody? So I was curious as to what they had to say about that engine combination and things like that and how they handled it, because we all know they banned them. So the way they have it worded in here, for the 1965 Grand National Stock Car Racing sanctioned by the National Association of Stock Car Auto Racing, they've been announced by President Bill France. The specifications effective January 1, 1965 indicate that emphasis in preparing race cars for the 1965 season will be placed on ability and know-how of individual competitors. Engine size will be limited to a maximum of 427 cubic inches, the same as 1964. However, engines must be of production design only, thus eliminating overhead cams, high risers, and hemispherical heads. So there it is in black and white. Nothing with hemispherical heads for 1965. Now, obviously, in 1966, Mopar did come out with the Street Hemi, so they didn't have really anything they could gripe about because it was a production engine for 1966. Came back in, put it back in stock cars. Richard Petty went back to NASCAR, and obviously the Hemis were a force to be reckoned with once again after sitting out the 1965 season, thanks to these rules right here, where it specifically states no hemispherical heads. Randy, quarter mile back then had to be earned. That's right. Those with innovation, not just big dollar sponsors. There was a lot of truth to that. That's for sure. Hoods and badge. Let's get some ads. And the first ad is one of my favorite ads of all time because it's one of my favorite cars of all time. One of these days, I want to have one of these again. I had one time, was going to restore it. I never got to it. I sold it when I bought my first parts store. And I still one day hope to own another one, a nice one. It's a beautiful 2-page full color spread on the 1965 Pontiac 2+2. I've always loved this ad. I always thought it was a great action shot. I've always loved the car. I always thought they were one of the most beautiful cars ever. Always been a fan of them. Was really pretty excited when I flipped the page and saw this ad staring back at me. So let's flip forward a few more pages. Leo's got to jump off. Thanks for being here, Leo. We'll hope to see you next week. The Animal Tamer for 1965. Bring on the Mustangs, the Wildcats, the Impalas. We'll even squash a few spiders while we're at it. It's a little harder to survive in the asphalt jungle because they just uncaged the new Coronet, a hot new Dodge at a lower price, the newcomer that's a real goer. All new styling and 7 models to pick from. Transmissions, 3-speed manual, standard, the torque flight, and a 4-speed secret measure options. Console with optional tack. Available on the Coronet 500. Naturally, we've got a sure grip differential option and a red-hot range of engines from the 225 cubic inch 6 through the 318 two-barrel, the 361 two-barrel, the 383 two-barrel, and topping the list is the torrid 426 cubic inch V8 4-barrel. Best of all, Coronet's priced right in there with Fairlane and Chevelle, but that's where the resemblance ends on the Animal Tamer, the 1965 Dodge Coronet. Nice action shot on a high bank oval. Dean likes the color on the 2+2 as well. The yellow wasn't my favorite. I like both blues more than the yellow, the light silver blue or the dark blue. But regardless, I just love 65 2+2s, period. So next ad, we're going to catch two. Next page, we're going to catch 2 ads on this page. First one, Win a Sun Tack, the official tack of the champs at all leading speedways and strips. And the Ed Big Daddy Roth ad for the Wild Child series. Put a little nitro in your oatmeal and you'll be doing wheel stands over Roth's newest creations. On the Ed Roth ad, some pretty cool stuff there on both of these ads, so we'll definitely want to check those out. Give you a second to look at those. Kevin L's got to jump off. Enjoyed hanging out. Glad you're in for a while, Kevin. Flipping forward a few more pages, there's a ton of cool ads in here, but a lot of them are small and they're difficult to read. So we're catching the stuff we can see. But the next one's a full page. It's easy to see. For Honest Charlie's Speed Shop, the mail-order supermarket of the speed world, your one-stamp shopping center. Honest Charlie Speed Shop division of Honest Charlie Inc., Chattanooga, Tennessee. What do they have on sale this week? Mag wheels, no-name Chevy V8 valve covers, high-temp paint, all kinds of cool stuff. Engine to transmission adapters from Honest Charlie's Speed Shop. Give you a second to take all this super coolness in. Moving on to the next ad. This one I thought was kind of interesting. It's kind of an ad, but not really an ad. It's an ad for Hot Rod for the next issue. Now, we got to, and there again, we've got to take ourselves back in time. We've got to put ourselves in February of 1965 for this to really make sense. Those are my parents bought a 66 Cornet. They wanted a Charger, but the extra $10 a month killed it. That was a big deal back then. That's crazy, but that's right. So we've got to remember, we're in February of 1965. There's all kinds of development coming out. There's all kinds of engines coming out. There's all kinds of different performance options coming out. A lot of this stuff is new. It's brand new. Now, this says very clearly, it just has a picture. No caption, no text about the picture. Featured next month. It's new. It promises to be another hot one from Detroit engineers. It's one a lot of rodders have been waiting for. Read all about it in the March issue of Hot Rod. And remember, we're in February of 65. Read all about it in the March issue of Hot Rod and look at the picture. Yep, the Mark IV. At that time called the Mark IV Big Block, the Mark IV Chevrolet 396. There again, it's February of 1965. This engine is just hitting the streets. Daniel's first mags were $18.75 a piece, ET5 slots. Yeah. But that's what's great about these magazines. Seeing this picture today doesn't mean a thing. February of 65, catch this next month. Read all about it. Pretty big deal. Definitely wanted to point that out to you guys. I thought that was kind of cool but that's what's so great about this. We literally have to take ourselves back in time. We're looking at it now with 2020 hindsight, but we have to take ourselves back to that point when that was new and different and we didn't know what it was yet. We were waiting for the March issue of Hot Rod so we could read all about it and find out what it is. That's what's so great about these magazines. The next ad that we're going to check out, put Cobra venom in your V8. Yes, it's an ad for Ford Motor Company to order your Cobra kit. Cobra kit's full of power and pizzazz for Ford 221s, 260s, or 289s. 3 deuces, single 4-barrel, distributor kit, engine dress-up kit, cam kit, dual exhaust kit. All right here. Go to your Ford dealer, order these from the parts department. 3 deuces. Use this kit with a distributor cam and cylinder head kits and watch the horses soar. 3 2-barrel carburetors, cast aluminum manifold, special air cleaner, mechanical linkage. Cobra medallions included. $212.55. Brand new across the counter from Ford. Single 4-barrel. $122.60 across the counter. Distributor kit. High performance kit consists of a heavier distributor and leads, dual point, centrifugal spark advance. $49.80 across the counter at your local Ford dealer. Engine dress-up kit adds a racy Cobra look to your engine. Fin polished aluminum valve covers, chrome dipstick, radiator cap, master cylinder cap, oil filler cap, air cleaner cover, and filter. $78.35. Cam kit, specially engineered with correct tolerances for the 261, the 260, or the 289. Cam and lifters, $75.10. Dual exhaust for converting standard exhaust system to duals includes pipe, necessary hardware, and 2 straight-through 4-inch glass pack mufflers, $69.95. That's true. You go to the parts department, and they actually knew what you needed when you walked in and ordered this stuff, too. That's a good point, Mark. So kind of weird to see that and think about that as just walk into the dealership and you ordered it over the counter. Couple more ads and then into classifieds. The next is a full-page ad for Drag World. Brings you more news faster. Now, with the internet, we just literally can, even if you're not watching it on the internet, you can jump right on and see even like the Gators. You can watch them in real time as the brackets are updating as cars are going down the track. 1965, you couldn't do that. New Weekly Drag World brings you more news faster. 52 big issues, $7.50. The fastest way to get your drag racing news in 1965, the Weekly Drag World. One more ad, then on to classifieds. The inside back cover, a legendary ad from a legendary company. Isky, Ed Iskandarian Racing Cam's full page, pink outline. Talking about TV Tommy Ivo running Isky cams. Obviously a legendary name in the industry and a great ad from 1965. Let's catch some classifieds. Then we're going to move on to the raffle, who got in this week, and what's coming up. So let's catch some of these ads. Now, obviously, classified ads that are back in the 60s are so awesome. Just really makes you wish you had a time machine, a bunch of money, and a really big building with a good lock on it. But what was for sale in February of 65 in the Hot Rod Mart? Right here, the Hot Rod Mart. Let's see what we've got here. Okay, remember, we are in February of 1965. So let's keep that mindset. Put ourselves in February of 1965. And here's what we see for sale. 1962 Ford Galaxy 500 Coupe. 406 heavy-duty suspension, 411 gears, 17,000 actual miles, immaculate. Will deliver for $1,895. Sell 1941 Lincoln Continental, rebuilt and modified Caddy engine, Columbia butt, $600 cash or trade for a built 41 Lincoln with a Caddy and a Columbia in it. 1940 Ford convertible, original throughout, excellent body, engine very dependable, $350. $350 for a 40 Ford convertible. Sell 1940 Ford red two-door sedan, 56 Buick nailhead with a cam, AFB carb, aluminum flywheel, all good shape, driven daily, extra transmission, $435. 44 two-door sedan with a nailhead in it. Here's something a little bit different. 39 Mercedes 170 Roadster, rare model with a rumble seat, body solid, engine rough, $1,400. Or they will rebuild the engine and sell it to you for $1,550 with a rebuilt engine. So it's an extra $150 for the rebuilt engine. That's what's so great about this stuff. It's just so off the wall cool that you got to check it out and see what they have to say. What else is kind of interesting in here? I kind of skimmed these last night, but 1930 Ford Model A Coupe, 63 327 Corvette engine, 4-speed, positive traction, chromed undercarriage, pleated upholstery, has won top show awards, $5,000 invested. $3,000 would own it. Yeah, I can see that. If somebody brought something with a carburetor into the dealership, they would be lost, that's for sure. Yes, Gray Kitty. Can I help you? All right, what else was interesting in here? 27T Roadster, 394 Olds, 64 International Winter Nationals winner, 1188 at 121, dependable car for street use and run high 11s in 65. That was crazy, $1,850. 63-64 Rochester fuel injection, complete with linkage, lines, factory air cleaner, and distributor. $200 for a 63-64 fuel unit. Yes, hi, Gray Kitty. 57 Thunderbird 312, 3-speed overdrive, Latham blower, Traction Masters, never raced, mechanically perfect, $2,800. 57 T-Bird with a blower on the 312 for $2,800. Although not quite as crazy as this next ad. Great kitty, get off the keyboard. Yes, you jumped up there and you ran straight over top the keyboard. You can't do that. Say hi to everybody while you're here. Hi, everybody. Now, you got to get out of the way. She just about danced on the keyboard. This next ad was crazy. 1963 Chevy. Remember, we're in February of 65. This car's a year and a half old, roughly. Z11. 427. The 427 is stock, new, in storage, long time, excellent modified production. So basically a brand new Z11. There's a little picture of it. It was lettered, but it said it's all stock, completely, basically new. That was bought and put in storage. 63 Z11 427 car. $3,200. We'll hold this up here, see if you guys can see the picture of it right here. Yep, I don't think she was too happy I snagged her up, but I didn't want her dancing on the keyboard again. All right, was that it? No, we got another. I thought there were some more ads. Let's see here. What else did we have here that was kind of cool? Oh, this one was a kind of a neat ad. Some of these are just parts and things like that, but some of these are pretty cool. There's no picture of this one. That's right, Kenny. Some of this stuff could still be in a barn somewhere. Sell 1954 Corvette, 60 Pontiac engine, so it'd be a 389, 6 deuces, 456 posi, hardtop, new lacquer and new interior, new tires, $22.95. Here's kind of an interesting ad. Fiberglass hardtops, Mustang top, Corvettes, Cobras, T-Birds, aftermarket fiberglass hardtops. They've got a little dinky ad here we'll share with you. Yeah, the electric car thing is pretty frustrating, especially considering the automakers don't like them. They don't make any sense. But we've talked about that before. We all know who's pushing. If you weren't with us when we talked about that before, you think about who's pushing them and it makes sense. So it isn't the car companies. It isn't the general public. None of them really want it. You think about who's pushing for electric cars and it all makes sense. That's right, Randy. The grid can't take it. It doesn't make any sense, but there's one group pushing it. So sell 64 Plymouth Sport Fury, 426 Ram Charger, AM/FM radio, 4-speed, sure grip, all black, many options, special built, cost over $4,000. Sacrifice $2,695. $2,695 for a 1-year-old 426 Ram Charger 4-speed sure grip Sport Fury. Wacko. No, throw sparks. It's actually not China. Real quick, we'll talk about it for just a minute after we get done with the classifieds ads and wrap the magazine up. For some of you guys that weren't with us when we talked about that a few months ago. But anyway, what else do we have on here? 1940 Ford, 2-door sedan, full flathead, rebuilt 4,000 miles ago. New brakes, rubber, paint, body, and interior, completely original. 24,000 miles, $1,000 for a 42-door sedan. 46 Ford wagon, completely rebuilt, new Naga hide and wool interior. This is a woody, new tires, cream lacquer, 283 with a 4-barrel, perfect chrome, drive anywhere, $995. Yep. 46 Ford Woody with a small block Chevy in it, drive it anywhere, $995. Sell 1963 409 4¼ horse complete less starter and alternator, $375. Basically a brand new 4¼ horse 409, $375. And we're getting down towards the end. I'm going to skim these here real quick, see if there's anything else we need to see here. Couple more real quick. '32 Ford pickup, stripper street, full fender, state inspected, chopped and channeled, painted and upholstered, Stewart Warner gauges, roll bar, no engine or tranny, $600. 29 Ford Roadster, welded doors, channel on a 32 frame, stock 55 Chevy engine, needs finish, $350. So, kind of crazy. Always love doing the old classified ads. That will wrap us up for the February 1965 issue of Hot Rod. I think you guys will agree with me that it was quite a magazine. There was so many epic dragsters, so much cool stuff, so many cool ads, so many great classifieds. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed bringing it to you because it was a lot of fun. But anyway, real quick before we get into the raffle, electric cars. I had somebody tell me this, and it finally made sense. That, and we've talked about this several months ago, who's pushing electric cars? Well, just like anything else, you follow the money. Who's going to make money if everything goes to an electric cars? Well, it ain't the car manufacturers. They're losing their butt trying to design them and make them. It isn't the people that are going to drive them because they're super expensive to maintain. The batteries go out. They're not going to be able to afford to fix them. So you got to figure all that stuff. So who wants electric vehicles? The environmentalists can't in good conscience it because they're going to burn more coal to crank more energy out to try to keep the grid supplied to keep them charged. So that doesn't make sense. Who wants it? Who's going to make money if everything goes to electric? If your house is electric and your car's electric, plus who has the money to hire lobbyists to jam this stuff through? Who has very little oversight on their budgets? Who can charge people kind of whatever they want unless, somebody steps in from the government and starts auditing them? Scott, I would read those ads 10 years later in 1975. The prices freaked him out. Yep. No, not Elon Musk. So who makes money? Who's pushing this? Who has massive budgets? Who can charge people essentially whatever they want until they push it too far where the government steps in, which thereby allows them to make a ton of money, pay big money to lobbyists, to pay big money to Washington, and would also put them in complete control over everybody. And that's right, Kenny, you were probably on with us last time. The power companies. That's who is pushing this thing. I've had some people tell me that who are in the energy business, and that is the absolute only thing that makes any sense whatsoever on this electric vehicle deal. Manufacturers don't want them. Most consumers don't want them. Doesn't make any sense for the environmentalists to want them because we're going to burn more coal in power plants to try to keep the grid up to service. But there again, is another great point, Randy. They want to eliminate natural gas ranges. Power companies. Power companies can charge you basically whatever they want until they push it so far that they get audited by the government. And then they step in and say, no, you can't do that. And they back it off a little bit. Then they just keep ratcheting it back up until they get their hands slapped again. Anyway, but by doing that, that gives them buckets of money to pay lobbyists to push this through. So if they get EVs going, they control your house, they control your car, they control everything. They can charge you whatever they want. They can turn you on, they can shut you off. They have total control. That's who I have heard has been pushing EVs. That is the only thing that makes sense as far as EVs. It is the power companies pushing it. So that's what I believe. Real quick. That's right, Mark. They'll screw you and shut you off, period. And you can't do nothing about it. Tweety says he tries to explain that to people and they don't believe it. Well, it's the only thing that makes any sense, you know. But anyway, tonight's the raffle for this month, giving away the super cool mobile porcelain pump plate. We'll have a second and third prize as well. Rico donated a super cool old 40s era Olds cap we'll give away. And we'll throw a license plate or something else in there as well. So, and that's right, Scott. Coal-fired plants aren't being built. Wind farms don't produce enough electricity. And nuclear isn't allowed either. So what happens? There's a shortage. They charge you more money. Power companies get richer. I mean, you follow the money, and that's the only thing that makes sense to me. So I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer, but that's the only thing that makes sense to me. But anyway, this month's drawing for the mobile porcelain pump plate. Who got in this week? Not a ton of people jumped in this week. Big Job says their power company in Wisconsin already admitted on air that they can't keep up with demand. So that's right, Mark. The green talk is BS. That's right. I agree with that 100%. But who's in the big Buick oil can as of right now? We went through the first week last week. Who got in this week? Only a few people jumped in. Bill Disc jumped in this week. Big Job. Big Job. Actually, Big Job had two because I was going to the swap meet. And Michael Glagola all jumped in this week. So not a ton of names in at this point for this month's raffle. So going to be a good one, though. This is original, probably 60s era. It is porcelain, mobile, right off the front of a gas pump. A few little chips over here, a few little chips here, but great colors. Awesome piece. Going to be a great addition to somebody's collection. And that's right, John. Controlled by flipping a switch. And they can do that to you. If they control your car and they control your house, they can do any of that. So, no problem, Mark. That'll work. We'll get it all figured out and get your stuff to you. So, but that's who's in as of right now in the big Buick oil can for this week. Be sure to get in there. $1 a chance. Every dollar you send me, you go in there one time, send me $5. You're in there 5 times, $10, 10 times, etc., etc. These guys are in there as of right now. See some familiar names on there already. Ready for the raffle. We'll be drawing on this one on April the 2nd. We'll be giving this pump plate away. And anyway, what else is coming up? New inventory. We already covered new inventory. 1970 Olds 98 convertible and the bullet nose 1950 Studebaker convertible. Kind of crazy. It's been a convertible kind of week to have two convertibles come in the same week and both complete pretty good cars. Both cars definitely, absolutely have a ton of potential. So excited about those. Going to be bringing you content on those as well. So those are the only two cars I picked up. Did get some cool stuff at Auburn Cord Duesenberg this week. We'll be mixing into some of this stuff as well. And I think that pretty much does it for me. What's coming up in videos this week? Obviously, this week will be pretty heavy ACD stuff. The Barn Find Bentley for sure, and possibly the Cord. We definitely want to get the cars up that are going to Barrett Jackson. So if anybody's interested in those cars, they can actually see the videos prior to the cars going to Barrett. But we need to get the Barn Find Bentley stuff out. It's such a cool car. So we will be heavy on Auburn Cord Duesenberg videos this week, which isn't necessarily a bad thing because they got some pretty cool stuff down there. And then we will be mixing in, obviously, the stuff from my buddy Salvage Yard, the new inventory videos. But, yeah, I think as of right now, I do have right at 20 videos in the can. I post 3 a week. So we got, and that doesn't include all this other stuff that's been coming in. The 41 Chevy truck. You guys haven't seen the 41 Chevy truck yet. That thing is awesome. The Studebaker, the convertible, the 98 convertible. In fact, I'll show you guys a sneak peek of this 41 Chevy truck because it's going to be a little bit before we get the video up, but this thing is so cool. I want to show you a sneak peek of it too. Check this thing out. Yeah, it's a cool truck. Got to get a video done on this thing. Been in storage for 25 years. Just pulled it out. Unfortunately, they like I told you guys last week, they they told me about it, and then when I got it, like, oh, we got it out and rinsed it off for you so you can see it better. It's like, oh man, I didn't get any pictures of it in the building, but we'll be bringing you that. It's a cool truck. The 68 Bel Air that I picked up. Lots of stuff been coming in that we got to do content on yet as well. So, but like I said, this week we will definitely be heavy on Auburn Cord Duesenberg stuff. Get it up for those guys' benefit. Plus, it's just great stuff, you know. Let's see. Randy likes it. It's cool. Norma's says, great Sunday night. Thanks, Norma. Appreciate that. And with that pretty much does it for me tonight. Tuesday, we will do some Toy Tuesday. We've got a ton of stuff there that I got on the Missouri run, the swap meet stuff that we haven't gotten into yet. So a lot of neat stuff there. I haven't even, after I did the swap meet video, all the stuff that we did in the swap meet video, a lot of stuff that's coming in here, never even touched that stuff today. Haven't even gotten into it. I haven't touched it since I did the video. So all those license plates, the emblems, the promos, all the stuff I got in Wichita, have not even touched that stuff. There's some badges in there too. So a lot of neat stuff there that's going to be coming up very soon. We got a lot of great stuff. I found some neat stuff. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. We had a great auction tonight. Thanks to everybody for participating in that. And so there's some great pieces going out to some of your guys' collections. So can't wait for you guys to get it added to yours. The Buick badge, the Studebaker badge, just some amazing license plates. And we're going to do it all again next week. There again, call me the Johnny Carson comments. They still flabbergast me, but I appreciate it. You know, I do appreciate the fact that you guys are here and hanging out and making this what it is. I do work hard to try and put together a quality product. You know, when I build these on Saturday nights and work these sheets up and try to be organized and try to put out a good show for you guys. So I'm glad you guys enjoy it. And you're right, it was episode number 156. Over 3 years of this, you guys keep coming back. Tell your friends about it. Maybe they want to come over and join us and hang out on the Sunday night live chat. We will do Toy Tuesday live. Like I said, I got a lot of cool toys we haven't seen yet from the Missouri run, the swap meet. We're got to get some of that stuff worked in. Shopcat in there, cheers to say. Cheers to everyone. Glad I made it back. Glad you're here for at least a little bit, just Shopcat, as we wrap up. We'll give everybody another Hudson. We'll give everybody another Auburn. And with that, we're going to wrap up episode number 156 of the Sunday Night Live Chat. Be sure to be back here Tuesday night on YouTube for Toy Tuesday. We're going to feed that content primarily from Auburn Cord Duesenberg this week. You guys aren't going to want to miss that Bentley video. Bentley is a little bit of outside of our typical wheelhouse, but it's just a cool car. And we like cars. Tony had his wife watching with him tonight. Glad she hung out with us tonight. Hope she enjoyed it as well. Scott had a great time tonight as well and loved the magazine. But even though the Bentley is a little outside of our typical wheelhouse, we love cars. It's such a unique specimen, untouched, with all documentation from 1936. And it's a pretty amazing piece. So I hope you guys enjoyed that as well. Plus, of course, you know, Cords and Auburns, it's pretty tough to go too wrong with any of that stuff either. But anyway, that being said, I'm going to wrap this thing up. I'm going to sign off. Hope to see you live Tuesday night for some Toy Tuesday. I hope you enjoyed the Auburn Cord Duesenberg videos. We had a great time shooting them with Doug. It's great to see Doug and Adam and all the guys down there, as always, and see all the cool stuff going on. I hope you guys are going to enjoy the video, and I know you will. I've got most of them done already. I was part of what I worked on last night as I was building this. So a lot of those are already ready. I'm waiting on a few more things from them. Get those videos up this week. And then we hope to see you back here next Sunday night. Same bat time, same bat station, 7 o'clock Central Standard Time for Sunday Night Live Chat. We'll have the auction boxes refilled. We'll have a new magazine. Actually, I may not even do a magazine next week. I got this little catalog. This catalog is awesome. We may do that catalog next month. Be a little bit different, but it's still pretty cool, and it is well worth looking through. We may do that little catalog next week. We'll have another promo model. We'll have some more badges and emblem dug out. We'll fill up the auction boxes again, and we're going to have another great time. Thanks for watching, everybody. I appreciate you coming by, spending pretty much your whole Sunday evening with me. making this chat what it is, because without you guys, I would just be some guy sitting here talking into a webcam, and that wouldn't be much fun. You guys are what make this thing happen. I appreciate your support, your knowledge, and your participation, as well as your participation in the auctions. So thanks, everybody. Appreciate you being here. Have a great week, and hope to see you next Sunday night for another episode of Sunday Night Live Chat.